So hello everybody, welcome to Forgotten the Title of the Stream. Penny teaches Newbie how to make a model or something or another. I need my Newbie. Here she is. You're not really
Hello.
are you?
I'm all right. I'm not, but I'm all right.
I think you've quickly advanced out of Newbie into pushing, definitely knocking on the door of intermediate now. You just got to bring the comfortable with you. Anyway, I've got some really bad news for you today. I'm going to be teaching you an advanced technique
that I can't do.
No, be afraid. Be very afraid.
That's all right. I'm used to being afraid.
Let's do a chat catch up, and I don't know how to tackle this. Lord Peter Webster says, "Hi, Penny Tash. Building with the boys. Nice to see you at the beginning, Scott. How are you? Congratulations on your award." So the part work awards or something like that was on today, and I have jointly won best newcomer. I'm playing it down. I'm going to be absolutely honest with you. When the part works awards were on last year, I'd fallen out with a group of people, and I got nothing. And I noticed that there were people winning, being nominated on awards that you're like, what the heck? And then I've made up with certain people, and now suddenly I'm getting awards. I'm going to be honest with you, I'm having nothing to do with it. And newcomer, I've been doing a YouTube channel for 7 years. If it was best small channel, different, but I don't want to sound ungrateful on that, but it's not. I didn't agree with it last year. I'm not going to start agreeing with it this year just because I got something out of it. But I am grateful for the 4 subs, which may have come from those awards. They may have come from somewhere else. I don't know. But I apologize if I come across the wrong way. I'm not going to suddenly, I'm not one of these, oh, boo-hoo, I'm bitter. Oh, lovely, yes. Oh, now I won something. I'm all right. I like it. So apologies. Lord Peter Webb says, "Hi, Penny, congrats." Hi, Scott. Hi, Tash. Hi, Peter. I've got something to show you later on, building with the boys. Miss B's, hi all. Hi, Lord Peter Webster. Hi all. Hi, building with the boys. Hi, Penny. Hi, Natasha. Dancing my ass off to the. I'd love that. I keep thinking of doing new intros, but that I do like that. Let's not skip over the fact I'm not old, but I'm not young, and and I tried to embrace my youngerness. Like on my pre-recorded videos, I have the Anglia intro. That was what I was watching when I was most of your ages. Some of the people who are watching this are quite young. Building with the Boys says, Lord Peter says, "Hi, Mike, Teresa." Hi, Peter, building with the boys. Hi, Teresa. Evening, Penny and Tasha. Hi, Smith. Hi, Chris. Crafty Chris, how are you? Sorry, I kind of semi-skipped. Hi, Crafty Chris. Hi, Peter. Award-winning builder in the house. Did you win something then, Lord? See, there should be an award for best contributor to Partworks. you would win that, there would only be one nomination, because to be nominated against you would be blasphemy, and that's what I would award you. Best contribution to the Partwork world builders. Is that fair? Hi, Mitch Smith Speeds. Hi, Crafted Chris. I vote for you, Penny. Thank you very much. Hi, Teresa. I voted for Penny. Oh, bless you. Right, so I'm going to get this over and done with. Tomorrow I am filming part, what am I calling it? Part 0 of my Lancaster build. When is it? Is it next week? This coming Friday, part -1 is coming out, which is an introduction to the project. I now have the model, and I know anyone who watched my channel update on Friday will have seen this, but I love it so much I want to ram it in everyone's faces. So this is the Hong Kong models 1:32 scale Lancaster Dam Busters, and it is flipping huge. Even the manual is huge. So to give you a rough idea of what we're dealing with, this is one
just a little bit bigger than that.
Just a little bit, little tiny bit. I think the nose of the Lancaster is about the same size as your. So that's the nose. That's the fuselage roughly, and these are the wings. So anyone who's doing the part work, this is exact same scale. This is what we're going to be dealing with size wise. That is half. So now the original plan was that whatever Hachette did, I was going to try to do the same with this. So, you know, if they give you a propeller in issue 1, I was going to paint up a propeller of mine. Issue 2, but I can see that doing the nose the way they're doing it, it's not going to work out. So check this out, guys. This is what they've done. Is the original model they first brought out. This is the instruction booklet, and it is not got, oh, it has got page numbers on it. So it's got 30, 31, 32 pages for the manual. And that, I'll show you stage 1. That is stage 1. And by the time you finish stage 1, you will end up with 1 pilot seat. 1 seat. That is what you will get for all your efforts in issue 1. Then they've brought out, it's, let's for want of a better expression, a correction sheet. It's not really a correction sheet. What it is these are the stages that you need to replace to turn this into the dam busters. So you're going to be doing something different for stage 9, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I can't see what the difference is there. So for example, when you get into stage 28 on the original model is putting all the bombs in. So obviously that's going to be replaced with placing the bouncing bomb on. So yeah, so I'll be doing the unboxing tomorrow, and that will be released on the 9th of February. And provided I still have permission, you haven't told me I haven't got permission, from issue 1 onwards, I will be splitting the videos into 3 parts. The first part, I will be doing a reaction video to Building with the Boys, who's very kindly given me permission to use his I won't play his video in entirety. I'll just be placing clips, and then I'll be saying where I think the Hachette is good or bad. Then I'll be doing my build for 1 stage. Now there's about 70-80 stages to build it, then the painting, then the decals, plus I'm going to be doing some other stuff on it. But I'm really looking forward to it. I'm just going to be doing just a little bit. I'm going to do this over 2.5 years. But yeah, it's all about, and then the third part is going to be cost comparisons. So, for example, I haven't even got to issue 1 yet, and I've spent £387 on it. But this is the way that scale models is. You're going to be spending all your money right at the beginning, and the next 140 weeks is not much to spend. Whereas the half share, think of it as a credit agreement. So instead, if you can't afford 400 quid, you take it out on installments of £11 a week. And Building with the Boys has explained all of this as well, and it's pretty much how part work works. At this particular moment, I'm not saying part work's a waste of money. I do get upset, even though I've not built it. I do get upset when people say, "Oh, it's a waste of money." Yeah, so's going down the pub and having 3 pints every night, and that's going to cost you more than the part work. But I don't diss anyone who goes down the pub, because if that's what you want to do, that's fine. And I like seeing the old men go down the British Legion on a Thursday night, and they come home slightly tiddly, but they've had a good time. And they probably not paid for half of their pints because they're a cute man. Anyway, right. So we are doing the Sherman Firefly tank. And what we are going to be doing today is we are going to be doing a wash. Now, the whole point of a wash is to bring out the detail. So I was on a little history stream today. You can't see it because I've closed all the cockpit up. Now, the correct way to do a wash is you spray your whole model with a gloss varnish. And then once that's dried, by putting gloss varnish on, you're changing the surface tension of the model. And then you're putting an oil paint that's really watered down. That's all going to run into the recesses. It can't sit on the flat areas. It all runs into wherever there's, like if there's a corner like that, it'll all run into the corners. And by darkening the insides, it's going to bring out the detail more. Now, as a beginner, you don't have oil paints. So we're going to have to do something a little bit different. So we have not many options other than to use paint, acrylic paint. It isn't going to work quite so well, I'll be absolutely honest with you. We're going to be painting onto a matte finish, and we're going to be doing acrylic on acrylic. Now, the acrylic paint that we're going to apply as a wash is going to want to stick to the green on the tank. So instead of just slapping a whole wash on, we're going to have to carefully place it. But I am confident that you can get a good result. And we are in luck. We have the tracks painted, don't we? Silver. Yeah. And I'll be honest with you, I think with this silver, with this gunmetal, I think those tracks are way too bright.
Yeah, I do.
Yeah. So
yeah, I should have left them black.
No. They are the correct colour, but I just think, look, they're way too bright.
They're too bright.
Yeah. So that's where a wash is going to help, because that wash is going to darken that down. Yeah.
Yeah.
So what we'll do is we'll apply the wash on the top of the tracks first, because there's some nice detail on there. But also, once the tracks are stuck on, we're not going to see it. So that means if you muck it up, we aren't going to see it. So you've got 2 practice areas. I keep forgetting I'm overhead. So you practice on that one, you practice on that one. And once you begin to get the hang of it, you can do the rest of the tank. Because if you mess that up, it's going to get hidden up, isn't it?
Yeah, top side, yeah.
So are you now a bit more confident?
No.
Right. Who we got? Right. So evening, says Dominique. Hi, Dom. Hi, Lord Peter. I think you can build any model I know of, Penny. Do you know what I've got? Because I've got that half track 1:16 scale, and I have been told I will struggle with it. But now I want to work on it because I want to prove I won't. I think I can. If I take my time on things, I think I can do it. Although saying that, this last few days, I've actually been struggling with my part works. I'm making an absolute meal. You'll see when the videos come out, but I just feel I'm making an absolute meal of them. I did the gauntlet today, and that went okay. The only trouble I'm finding with the gauntlet is I might as well put the front camera on. I'm finding that they're producing these, essentially they're plates, and then you're screwing them and they don't fit quite properly. And then as you screw them, they bend those plates into shape. So it looks fantastic once the screws are in, but when you when you do a dry fit, it's not fitting. And I had one bit, I had to really force it in, and then put the screws in, and it's absolutely lovely. If you're a little bit eagle-eyed, you will be able to see it there. But obviously wait for the videos to come out. Right, so we got any more chat? I think I've missed loads. Yeah, right. So MP, always nice to have MP in the house. Hello, Penny and Natasha. MP is a wave and a thumbs up. Hi, Manuel. Hi, Dominic. MP. Hi, Lord Peter. Hi, Teresa. And hi, Dominic. Right, so as I take you through this, Natasha, I'm going to be doing comparisons with oil paints and so I'll say this is how you do it with oil paints, but this is how we're going to do it. If you do get confused at any point, please do not hesitate to say, whoa, slow down. Can you explain that again? Why have you, she's disappeared. Look, she's so scared now, she's just run off. There we go.
I love
She's back.
falling out. I didn't have to do anything then.
Oh, there's me thinking you'd done a runner because you were scared.
I should have left it like that then.
Right. So, obviously, so far you've been painting detail. And then basically you're getting your brush, you're painting, and wherever you put the paint, it's covering. Now, if we really think, do you remember when we first started to paint this? Yeah. And where the paint was very, very thin, it was splitting.
Yeah.
Because there was more water than paint, and it was like it didn't want to stick. We're actually going to use that to our advantage. Right, now I've asked you to get some water and a palette.
Yeah.
Okay, and what I'm going to do, I'm going to get myself a bit of kitchen roll, because then I can demonstrate things to you a little bit better. So what we are going to do you remember when we got our paint and then we thinned it with water?
Yeah.
Roughly maybe 1 part paint, 1 part water.
Yeah.
Right, well, we are going to, this time, I didn't want to use that part of the palette because it's got a little tiny bit of paint in it. We are going to seriously thin it. Okay, so maybe 1 part paint, six parts water. We're putting a lot of water in. I meant to say what might help is a little tiny drop of washing up liquid. And then when I say a drop, I'm talking like a tip of the brush full. So I don't know how well you can see that, but that's an awful lot. Basically, you're turning your paint into what your paint, you know, your water when you clean your brushes.
Yeah.
That's what you're essentially turning your water into. So I don't know if you can see that. Can you see how thin that is?
Yeah.
That may not actually be thinned enough. So you want it, rather than thin paint, you want it as black water. Right, that's probably a little bit better. And then what we're going to do, we're going to place that in the tracks. Okay, now the thinner the brush, the better. Okay, let me do a bit of a zoom. That's about the best I can go. So we're going to paint that onto where the details. We're going to aim for the oh God, There we go. But as you see, we've got some on the top. So what I want to do is get some clean water. And have you got any kitchen roll?
Yeah, loads.
I should have said, if you get yourself a sheet of kitchen roll, I actually need a pot with clean water. But right, so get some clean water on your brush. Just touch the end of the kitchen roll just to wick off the end. And then what we're going to do is we're going to try and remove as much of that paint as we can, which is not really going to work. Okay, you might have to resort to cotton buds. Okay, maybe cotton. Have you got cotton buds?
Yes, in the kitchen.
Right. So gently, I'm just going to wipe some of that's better. That's working. Right, don't rub too hard because you're going to rub the paint off. But just in between the tracks. You know, that's terrible. I'm going to have to zoom out a bit. I'm trying to zoom in too much. It's MP saying try the formula 9 drops of water to 1 part paint. It's going to run well. So now if you can see there, can you see I've got little black lines there?
Yeah.
So let me go through that again. I think that's what I've done, MP. So we're just going to try and aim that for the lines, for the recesses. We are going to fail and get some on the top of the tracks, but that's not the end of the world. Now, if I was doing this with oil paint, I would just slap it all on. Okay. And then I'm going to get my cotton bud and I'm going to just rub it gently in between to try and remove some of that paint. Okay, can you see that we've now got some lines in the middle there?
Yeah.
Now, if I compare that to the bottom, see it's dulled it down quite a bit. Now, if we still think that that's too bright, we can always add a bit more, but I'm going to recommend that if you just dip your brush into the water and then just touch the tip onto the kitchen roll, that saves you flooding it. So if we think it's a bit too much, we can always put, see I've just put 4 dots on there. And then what I'm going to do is get my cotton bud and I'm just going to rub that off a little bit. Now a little bit of that paint will remain. But you see it's just brought out some of the detail.
Yeah.
Now what I'm going to try, I don't know if this is going to work because I don't normally do washes with acrylic paints. I'm actually going to paint the whole lot. This is a part that isn't going to be seen. And then I'm going to just try and rub out the parts I don't want. But you can see how it's picked up the detail, can't you? Very easily. Now, if I was doing this with oil, what I would do is I would dampen my brush with white spirit and I would just brush out where I don't want it and just blend it away. Okay, this is actually working to a degree. Not as good as oil paints. Okay, can you see what's happening there?
Yeah.
It's quite duller than the original. So how are you feeling about that? To be honest with you, I quite like it just straight on. That seems to be working well for me. So I'm now going on to the bottom of the tracks because I'm quite happy with the result I'm getting. It really depends on how much you've diluted the paint. But as Manuel said, it's about 1 part paint, 9 parts water. So you can see how seriously thin it's going to be. And we can just keep going over this. But if you run your brush opposite to the line, it will flood that line, which is kind of what you're trying to do. And then any bits that we think, like any raised areas where we don't want it, we can just give it a little rub. It will settle down once it's dried, and then we can always go over again if we think it's still a bit light. And don't be scared to put a little bit more in some areas than other. When you come to do the actual tank, if it comes out a little bit uneven, that will work. I've just developed a black spot there. So I wish I'd just done the one track now. But you see a little bit of improvement there?
Yeah.
Dominique says kitchen paper. Yes, I only bought 24 of them. You can never have too much. And MP says you can do dry brush to dark more the tracks. Yeah, I'm going to be doing the dry brush later. But the trouble with doing dry brush is that it does wreck your brushes. Okay, so I'm actually going to apply a third layer because I want to just get a little bit more on it. So that's my solution then to, sorry, I'm off camera. So I said I felt it was a little bit dark. So I'm feeling after one application, maybe it's still a little bit too light. And then it takes a little bit of patience. And because it's so thin, it will actually dry fairly quickly. But I'm trying to avoid the recesses and try to dab it more than rub, because if it reactivates any of the paint from below, you'll end up rubbing all the paint off, the original paint off. Okay, so you see how that's a little bit uneven?
Yeah.
Which is fine because dirt and dust doesn't accumulate evenly. Are you still scared?
No.
Are you liking what you're doing?
Yeah, making it easier.
Again, it's all practice and knowing what to do. You know, if I'd said to you yesterday, oh, just whether your tank ready for tomorrow, you'd be like, oh my God, I don't know what to do. If you had a thinner brush, that might be a little bit easier. Now, when we come to do the side of the tracks, you'll probably find that a little bit easier, because what we're going to do is we're going to flood it a little bit more and then just dab it with the paint with this. But the detail is a lot more raised there. Face of concentration.
Yeah, I'm doing the second one now.
Good, nice one. Now I will say I'm using black because that's the color we've got. We only got 3 colors with this, which is a green, a black. I'd possibly be looking at maybe a dark brown, or maybe a mix of brown in with, depends what you're trying to recreate. If you're doing an oil, I'd be putting a little touch of red and blue and yellow in there, with black and maybe brown. I mean, that wash I did earlier on, that was a mix of about 5 different oils, and I'm not a color wizard. I just slap it all together and mix it up, and I think, yeah, it's a bit light, it's a bit dark, it's a bit, yeah, whatever. There is no real right or wrong on this. How you getting on? It's looking good.
I'm glad to see it.
It's looking all right. So once that's starting to dry, so I have a look at it and go, am I happy with it? Does it need another application? So I'll do one track, but I'm going to do the wheels, and I'm pretty much doing exactly the same. I'm just going to paint over the wheels with this dilute black paint. Get it in there. And then I'm just going to get my cotton bud. And this one I'm going to roll. Just try and get some off the upper surfaces. And then I've purposely only done half. Can you see the difference?
Yeah.
Do you think they could pop out a little bit more?
Yeah.
So that's kind of, I mean, it's a bit easier doing it that way. On something with more, heavier detail is a bit easier. I mean, it's not going to be fantastic. It's not going to be award winning, but given the resources we've got at the moment, I think we're going to get good result. You're not trying to get the cotton bud right in. Basically, that paint is going to remain where the cotton bud doesn't get right in. Okay. That's actually the inside, so that's a good place to start. That's the outside, remember, and that's the inside. So all we've really done is we've painted areas that we're not going to see on the final model because they're going to be hidden. So they're the areas that you want to perhaps practice in. That bit I'm not totally happy with, so I'll just give it another application. And then next I'm going to get all in the tracks, get in those details on the tracks. But do avoid rubbing because we are acrylic paint on acrylic paint. If you were doing, if you gloss varnish this and then put an oil paint on, you could rub away because that gloss varnish will should prevent the acrylic paint from lifting. Okay. So that's the difference between the two. Just added that little touch of detail. Yeah. Love Minis, how are you? Hi all, she says. Oh, you're back to being Love Minis now. Used to be Love Mins sometimes. Okay, so I'm going to get on with the other side of the tracks, but I'm going to leave one side undone so that we can do the comparison. This one's quite nice because it's got some quite nice detail on it. Now, if you're using oil paints, because they have a long drying time, you could smother the whole lot with oil. Because it's acrylic paint and they dry a little bit quicker, I'm only doing about half. If you're a bit of a slower worker, don't even do half. Do maybe one or two. This actually needs a touch up. I forgot to do the green after I'd done the, I've got silver all over it. Now the harder I'm finding, the harder I'm pressing with the cocktails there, with the cotton bud, the more I'm picking up. So if you do it lightly, you don't pick so much up. Okay, so how are you feeling right now about it?
Yeah, I'm okay.
Yeah. Good. I've kind of rushed this a bit. I've been touching like the bits that aren't fully dry yet, but yeah, there's a comparison for you. You see on the top one that detail is just popping out a little bit more. You
Yeah.
really only notice that detail because you can see it on there. I think that's a good job.
Yeah.
Love minis. Painting, always remember what you're painting is only one part of the total model. If too dark, add light. If too light, add dark. Could be paint or added part. Yeah, this is why I think maybe I've just over diluted my paint slightly, which is meaning like on the tracks I've had to do 2 coats. But you know me, when it comes to diluting paint, I'd rather go too thin because then I can always add another layer. But if I go too thick, it's a little bit harder. So you know me as well. Yeah, I think I fixed the name thing. Seemed to have a virus or cold anyway. COVID test was negative, so that's good. Marvel Fix. Hello and good evening all. Grats on the Parkwork Newcomer Award. Penny subs inbound, I hope. Yeah, I think I've got 4 out of it so far, and you know, even if I just got 1 sub, you know, I really do appreciate that. I am doing. Isn't it funny how your goals change with your YouTube channel? When I first started the channel, I'm like, I don't really care if no one subscribes. I'm doing this as a video diary. Now I've hit over 850. I'm like, right, yeah, I'm just doing that push to 1,000. And I'm pretty sure that when I hit over 1,000, then it'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm doing that push to 2,000. So MP says, Natasha, the best of modelling is having fun. You are in the good way. I have an excellent teacher, Penny. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, this is the thing. I mean, if you got 5 minutes into this build and you said, I'm not having fun today, then the only thing I can suggest is we end the stream, because if you're not enjoying it, there's absolutely no point. I've done it before. I've sat down and started doing something, and I'm like, I really can't be bothered. And I've tried to push through it, and it's just not happening for me. So if at any point you're not enjoying it, I think you will enjoy it, because I think secretly deep down you're enjoying the challenge, aren't you?
Yeah. Challenge.
So we've got a zoom song, and we need a challenge song. What am I looking for? Yeah, I'm sitting here, and part of me is, I want to get on with the rest of the tank. And the other parts go, whoa, slow down. This is all about Natasha. One thing I noticed about that Parkwork Awards, which I thought was quite amusing, E.T. was nominated for worst part work, even though it's like quite literally been released in the last week or so, and we've only had 2 issues. And then the very next award, best part work, or best it's like which part work we think, best upcoming part work or something. E.T.'s nominated for that one, and I think it won it. So it's been nominated for worst and the best. How are you getting on, Tasha?
Slowly but surely.
So this is me being impatient. I want to see the results.
Yeah. You can sit there impatiently.
I don't sit here patiently, but doesn't mean I don't want to. That was a stupid move. Just blown a plane and the bit just fell off because it wasn't glued in.
What's fallen off?
Oh, just some air cover on an aeroplane. that I really should be cracking on with, but I haven't been.
You haven't?
No. It's the F-35 that we did for New Year. I have not touched it since New Year.
Haven't you touched it since?
No.
Wow.
Well, I don't know whether to video me. Let's have a look at this. Yeah, that's how the votes worked out. I think ET was out. Oh, good point. Yeah, it might have been out in other parts. But it just goes to show how the voters are thinking. A lot of people are thinking it's a bit naff, and other people, I mean, I think it's brilliant. I love the quality. I mean, part one, there's nothing to do, but you get to look at the quality of the skin, and I think it's going to look really good. I'm really excited about it after building one issue. But we know with part works. Let me put you on big. Let me put you on big. So the important question is, what do you think?
I can notice a difference, especially on the bottom.
You think it looks better?
Bottom, yeah.
Yeah. So one thing I noticed is if you get on, I'm not on stream. How can I? Oops. So if you get into those little bits there, it'll just add a little bit more. Now, as it's dried, it's kind of subsided a little bit. It's made it a little bit more subtle.
Yeah.
So, you know, once it's dried down, it's died off a little bit. So sometimes you'll put it on and you'll go, oh my God, I think I've ruined it. And then it dries and you think, well, actually, that's not too bad. So, you know, pop it on, let it dry, see what you think about it. You can always apply extra coats. But also, if you put it on too heavy, you had a lot of work to do to get rid of it. Marble Fix says, last year the Root Master won best part work, worst part work. I cannot understand how that won worst part work and best part work value. I don't understand. I know. Well, see, it was quite a long part work, wasn't it? So I wouldn't have voted it for value. Maybe, I don't know, Terminator, because you were getting big chunky pieces for that and there weren't so many issues. But so I don't, until I've got to a certain point on the Eddie Stobart, the part where the Root Master's always been my favourite part work. Right. So how are you feeling about your wheels then, your tracks?
My wheels look good.
Do you feel you want to go over with another coat, or are you happy with them?
No, I'm quite happy with them. It's darkened it down a bit for me.
Say those wheels aren't quite, the tracks aren't quite so shiny now, are they?
No, not in my eyes.
Yeah, which I think has helped. I'm just doing a quick catch up and doing the other track. Right, so what bit do you want to do next? Do you want to do the main body of the tank, or do you want to do the turret?
The turret?
Yeah, I think that's...
That thing, that's really, really slim thing. That I'll end up snapping off.
No.
And it's definitely been in the wars.
No, because all you need to do is just pop it onto your finger like that.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
if I ain't glued mine down.
Aim it for the recesses. So you see like this what do they call that? The bit where the commander comes out. Try and push it into where you want it. Okay. Using the tip of your brush, just push that in where you want it. And there's a little line going down the middle. And then there's some raised detail. Paint around the raised detail. And then we'll get our cotton bud and we'll just touch it, lightly touch it. And that's going to pick it up from the raised areas. Okay. You see it's outlined it.
Yeah. I can see that.
Yeah. And then
I
once
won't be in camera for you all that much with this.
you want what?
I won't be in camera for you much.
It's all right. Right, so there's a nice circle bit there. That's going to be nice and easy because all we're going to do is just run our brush in there, and that's pretty much done itself. You can see that detail's just popped.
Yeah.
There's two ways to make things pop. One is to darken the lower areas, and one is to lighten the raised areas. Now, at the moment, we're just darkening the lower areas. See, now we're starting to see detail that we didn't realise was there. So, for example, there, you can't really see anything, can you? See where the end of my brush is?
Yeah.
Now, if I just pick up some of that detail, run round with the black, can you see that already now there's some detail starting to appear?
Yeah.
Like I said, this isn't the best way to do it. I'd much rather do it with oil washers, but we don't have oil washers, so we have to make do with what we've got. But it's doing the job. So I'm literally just tiny taps with the cotton bud. I don't want to, because it will absorb all the moisture out easily. So I just want to, can you see it's brought that detail out quite subtly. And the bit you're going to be amazed at will be this bit there. Okay. So anywhere where there's a change in height, just pop. And there. And then just reduce it down a bit because that was a little bit heavy. Okay. Now, inside there, you might want to put a little bit extra wash because that's where a lot of dirt will accumulate. I'm trying to get you to be a bit creative now. So I've just run, I've not painted all of it, I've just gone about halfway up. Okay.
Yep.
And then the back bit, you see it's very, very plain, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Right, if I now run some wash along there, and then I just run my cotton bud very, very gently, suddenly a ton of detail has just appeared, all rivets and lines. And then I would do the end of the turret just to pick the detail out on the, what do they call that, the muzzle? Just basically you're forcing some detail. So where are we up to? A good tip for wash is when we are working on dark colours, we can use the inverted wash and use white wash, for example, dark blue or black paint. Hi Dale Todd, hi Penny Natasha, evening Lord Peter, hi Love Minis. Was that an artistic finger flick you just did there?
Yeah. My way of saying hello now.
Lord Peter says hi Tony, how Peter, hi, hey Peter, how ist. Now, I know we laugh, but I think this is very true. Have you ever watched The Joy of Painting?
No.
There was a guy called Bob Ross, and one of his little catchphrases was a happy little accident.
Yeah.
It's actually very, very true. If you make a little bit of a mistake, go with it. Obviously, if it's too much, with this, you can blend mistakes out. But yeah, basically it's like, yeah, if you make a little accident, go with it. Turn it into something if you can. Okay, how you getting on?
Nearly done it.
Good. So if I sound like I'm rushing you, I really am not. I don't mean to. Hello, Kat. How are you? Do you want to go in that box you created earlier on? I think we're going to have an invader. He has been, I think he has been invading me quite a bit today.
He has, hasn't he, or she?
After a lot of fuss and love. I think he knows that now I'm home, I'm going to be going at some point. He doesn't necessarily know when I'm going.
No.
I think he's just taking advantage as much as he can. And also, you're not seeing Linda today, have you? Because Linda's not come round to feed you because I'm home. You have got the vets on Wednesday, haven't you? You're going to see the lovely lady who gives you dreamies, and she's going to cut your fingernails, and she might, if we're lucky, give you a little 6-month MOT of health. And then she's going to put you on the scales, and she's going to say, he's extra fat, even fatter than last time. Did I tell you I found out why he's putting on weight?
No.
It's quite funny. I can't moan at him. So we've been trying to put him on a fairly strict diet.
Yeah.
He's eating senior food, you know, for cats that are prone to weight loss. He is getting some treats, but his treats is Whisker's kitten food. It's very controlled. It turns out that Linda's even giving him less than I do, and he's getting like a small scoop a day.
Yeah.
And Linda's giving him like half of that between the two of them. And I'm like, I cannot understand how he's put on 0.2 kilos in a month. And then I catch V on camera being nice to the cats. When he goes out one day, he puts a big old handful of treats down for them.
Yeah.
And leaves the house. And I'm like, he's just given them like 3 times more treats in one go than I do all day.
Yeah.
So, but he's more playful now. Really seem to be enjoying life. And I have been told about some cat furniture that goes on the wall.
Right.
You know, posts and things.
Yeah.
My friend got some. She got it from B&Q, and it's like 50 quid. And I'm like, so I was looking at making some, but to be honest with you, for 50 quid, it's probably just easier if I go out and buy it.
Probably for that.
Yeah, and each one is 3 screws. Drill a hole in the wall, stick a wall plug in, and screw it in. Job's done. And then you can climb all up the walls. You got no.
Not really going to see it.
My desk is so messy. He's making biscuits on the table now. Well, he's not actually making biscuits because it's a hard surface. He's marching on the spot. Yes. No, don't drink that. That's paint. He do that. I've seen there one day. This is my paint water. Spirit was sitting there drinking it. I know. She's mad.
What the hell is wrong with her?
I don't know. I think she's crazy, lady. She's
mind you, she probably sees you putting what they call paintbrushes in your mouth.
Wow. Yeah, okay. I suppose I'll give you that. Right. How's your turret?
Hey?
How's your turret?
I don't know if you can really tell in here though.
I can see the detail on it. So this is where I'm going to get asked. Oh, come on, mister. I gave you like 2 minutes of attention. Why do you need more? So this is where I'm going to ask you to get creative. Make this up. So this side I think is quite plain. So what I'm going to do is, she's sort of lower, slightly lower down and towards the back, I'm just going to give a little bit of black, a couple of randomish places, and I'm just going to give it a gentle rub with the cocktail stick. So we've got some areas that have got no paint on it and some that have got some. So I don't know if you can see that. You see it's kind of made the paint a little bit uneven.
Yeah.
Just give it a bit of, what do they call it, tonal variation. Now you can do as much or as little as you want. Don't end up with it being completely black, but just some of the areas that have got no detail at all, just slap a little bit in and then rub it. Don't rub hard because, like I say, you're going to remove the green paint, but just give it a little bit of variation here and there, adding interest. If you paint this all flat one color, it looks all right, but you know it's less boring if you just, but you don't want to see brush marks, which is why I'm kind of rubbing it in. You see that side's gone quite dark, this side's got a couple of lighter bits. Now if we compare that to the original, is that the right one? No. We compare that to the actual main tank, you see I've completely changed the color but it's still green. Yeah. This is part of the reason why I say you get some people, they'll go, oh, that's one shade too dark on the green side. I really don't care, because by the time I've slapped a load of oil on it, it's going to end up a different color anyway.
True.
You'll get one that's the two tanks, both the same color. One has gone through a clay-based soil woodland, and another one's gone through sand. They're both going to end up completely different colors. One's going to be caught in the desert, and one's going to be caught in a rainstorm. They'll end up different colors. So when you feel confident, yeah, we should have done the decals first, shouldn't we? Oh,
yeah, probably.
Oh well, don't worry about it. Right, so when you've done that and you feel confident, you can do the main body of the tank. So pick out the detail, and then once you've done all the detail, have a look at any flat areas like down the side there, and we'll just do that little bit of tonal variation just to make it a little bit more interesting. This isn't going to win any competitions. You know, even if I took it to a local scale model club, I probably won't win anything. But it does look nicer than straight out of the box, in my opinion. But look, you can see the difference between the turret and the main body. Just a little bit of subtle detail has been brought out. There you go. MP says in that green penny, you can do a wash with green to create more depth in details. I'm not going to be able to do it with you, but what I would be tempted to do is get a lighter shade of green, or get a green with a little touch of yellow in it, and then we'll go over some dry brushing, and that will really make the detail pop. Would you like me to do that to mine to show you what will happen? Yeah. Okay. Obviously you can't, because I can't. That is your entire paint range there. Yep. As you get more paints, you'll be able to do it. It is really, really hard to sort of go that extra mile with no petrol in your tank, so to speak. How's that for an analogy? Yeah. But you're getting a good result. You are getting a better result than if you didn't give it a wash. Right, so you're now starting on your main tank, so I can start on mine. Yeah, just started, but I'm just out of view of the camera because that's the way I see better. No, that's fine. You got to make sure you can work well. So, as I say, if I was doing this with an oil, I would do the whole lot. But because acrylics dry quicker, I'm doing small sections. I've probably done a little bit too much there, but yeah, I've done way too much there. Although it will lighten as it dries. I can't believe I found out why those tracks didn't fit, guys. Remember on the first one, I stuck this bit on upside down or the wrong way round.
Yeah, we worked it out eventually, didn't we?
Yeah,
Or
because
you
yours
did.
fit fine, didn't it?
Yep.
And I couldn't work out why yours would fit and mine didn't. And then when I got to the hotel,
I just thought yours was the same way as mine, and I just
yeah,
thought, huh?
but when I got to the hotel, that one fitted perfectly. Right, I've run out of wash now. Right, Mr. Cat, do you mind not eating my paintbrush as I'm painting? Don't you dare drink that water.
Oh, Mum, I want to drink it.
You being a bad boy. Huh? Can't you be a good boy? Oops. How can I make him jump off in a huff without being in a huff with me?
You can't.
No. Because he knows he's the boss of the house, you see. And he also knows that he gets cuddles on demand. And he demands it.
It's like the birds don't
Oh.
run me. No, I don't run them, they run me.
They give you the illusion that you're in charge, but actually you're not.
Well, yeah, it's like even I know when the TV's off, Sonny will shout like hell.
Oh, the
I'm
sunny.
like, oh, have I got to go in there and check it all out?
Oh, you got one of those TVs that go on standby after a certain.
Yeah, and I can't turn it off because I've tried. So when he's shouting his mouth off, I know, oh, that's it, got to go in there and tell him, oh, is that naughty TV gone off again?
Do you actually call your TV naughty?
Yep. Naughty TV, is it, Sonny? And he says, yeah,
Bless him.
because he can say yeah.
Can he?
Yeah, and he can say pew pew,
Talked.
because he's weird, like me.
Is it that
Yeah.
he actually says yes, or you recognise what he's saying, what he means?
He's slowly saying yes, but I can recognise how he's saying it.
Right.
I've taught him for. I only have to ask him, "Are you right, Sonny?" And he'll just do it in a way he's saying yeah. And it's getting to the yes stage.
It's pretty much the same that I can recognise what Shadow's saying. Because I had some friends around yesterday, and he's chirping away, and they go, "Oh, what's he what?" I said, "Ignore him. He's just being an attention whore." He does. He just when you're not giving him enough attention, he goes out in the hallway, he walks down the hall, and he just does this chirp.
Yeah.
And then like when he comes in, I knew he was going to jump on the table because the way he doesn't meow, he chirps
He must
almost
be
like a
learning from
bird.
my birds.
Yeah, it's really weird. I mean, I've read somewhere that the reason cats chirp is that like, they do it when they're watching the birds and they're mimicking the birds so they can get in closer. I don't actually believe that. I believe that chirping is actually a communication method.
Well, I don't know how my budgies would communicate. All I hear him do is shout, shout, shout.
Yeah, but do you recognise the way that they chirp?
Yeah, because I know when it's an argumentative one, so I have to go in there and tell Mickey off.
Right. Well, I'm happy with mine. It actually is a couple of places I've gone, oh God, that's a bit heavy. But then as it dries, it kind of dies off a little bit.
I'm just going with the flow.
No, that's fine. And I'm wondering whether to just dull my tracks down a little bit more. I'll see how it looks when I pop them on. Yeah, I still think they're a little bit dark. Yeah, no, I'm okay with that. I'm okay. Yeah, I like that. Oh, I did a funny thing yesterday. I took my friends home and I saw their cats. And before I'd left, I'd given them some catnip. Now, he's quite funny. He's not super reactive to it.
Right.
But it does make him, he does play with it and his eyes do go big like he's stoned. And he does like it, but he's not like super reactive. I don't know if she's not old enough yet because apparently it doesn't affect them much when they're kittens, but she's not really super bothered. So,
One second.
My friends were like, "Oh, are you going? Are you?" Let me just, I got to find something to talk about now, haven't I? God, I've run out of things to say already. Look, right. So yeah, MP says in that case you create highlights. Yeah, the way I kind of do it the Warhammer way. You paint your midtones on. You pop a wash on to darken it all down. You then pick your midtones up if you need to, and then you create the highlights. So you've got 3 levels essentially. I know that some people, especially with scale models, it's done a bit differently. But obviously, because we're using acrylic paint and we're creating a wash, we've got to do it a little bit different anyway. Love Mini says, main thing is you have fun. It's a hobby, not a job. You can use mascara. Mascara to add to the look too. I never thought of that. Like if you went through clay soil and clay was a light tan. So I can't see him, but he's just gone on a bit of investigation. He's there. There he is. He's just come in now. I think he's the only one in the whole street who's actually enjoying my house not being tidy yet. Oh God, that's a bit lucky. Put my dinner plate down, and then I haven't eaten it yet. It's because she hasn't discovered it. That's the main thing. It's all about having fun. If at any point Natasha says I'm not having fun, then it's time to finish the stream because there's no point going on. And then maybe tomorrow or another day she'll go, yeah, because she has been doing a little bit off camera, and she's obviously wanted to do it because she wouldn't do it if she didn't. Bear with me a second. It's getting a bit chilly. I want to put the heater on. Ooh. Might be what the cats are asking for. Maybe they're telling me they're a little bit cold and it's time to put the heating on. They might come through and just chill out by the fire now. Or they might not. No, he's in the kitchen. He's patrolling. Sorry guys, I'm not very good on my own, especially today. So I've been doing a lot of filming. E.T., that's pretty good. Has anyone seen the E.T.? Has anyone seen World of Wayne do the E.T.? It is really good. I'm saying that after 2 issues. RoboCop's coming along. I think the RoboCop, now it's up to about issue 14. It's now looking like it's going to start building in a sequence rather than a little bit of this, a little bit of that. You know what part works are like. They give you the show-offy bits in the first few issues. I think the RoboCop's now starting to calm down a bit, and I'm trying to pull this chat down, but I can't find my cursor. Or eyeshadow. Oh, Peter, you should be getting a gift from me tomorrow. Oh, Tash, yeah, that's fine. Certain breeds just chirp. Yeah, it's I like the fact that my cat isn't textbook, and I don't think any cat's a textbook, but people say, oh, your cat's going to do this, and he doesn't, or he does it differently. And obviously he's just adapted to the way that I brought him up. He now believes everybody who comes in the house has come to see him. And that's come about from when he's quite nervous around new people when he was a kitten. It wasn't until you actually approach him and show him that you're okay that he's fine. So I made a rule that if anybody comes into the house, they go into the treat box and they just give him sort of 3 or 4 treats, and that signals that he's okay. And he learns what you're like. I mean, my neighbour comes round, he hardly ever sits on my lap. He'll lay with me, but he doesn't lay on my lap. When Barbara downstairs comes round, she sits there with a cup of coffee, he's straight on her lap. Linda comes round, he's expecting her to play with her, and he really knows what you're like. But yeah, he's absolutely fine with people. You know, he doesn't like the postman, and the reason he doesn't like the postman is because the postman comes to the door, but he doesn't get to see him, and you'll see him on the camera, and he'll be like, "But something's just happened at the door, but yet there's no person in the house. Why has no one come in and given me treats?" Marie has the ET. Is she enjoying it? Because I mean, it's only 2 issues. The only thing I noticed with it, and I made a boo-boo, and I haven't covered it up on my video. I should have read the instructions. Oh. See, I don't normally watch anybody else build a build before I've built it. And I made the mistake, and I watched World of Wayne do it. Now, what he's done is he's put PVA glue underneath the iris and glued it on. And that's how I did it. Because there's a little tiny bit of concave on the actual white bit, it never actually stuck. And then I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, well, hang on, why don't I stick glue along there? So I've stuck PVA glue along the edge there, the part that you're not going to see, and it's come out a treat. And then I reread the instructions, and that's what the instructions tell you to do. So actually, well, the rain got it wrong. But I don't use super glue, because I will not use super glue on plastic, clear plastic. The only issue is I've got a little bit of glue squidge that's gone under there, but I don't think you're going to see that bit. I think that is all you're going to see. But don't you think that looks creepy? I do think that's so realistic. It's like Big Brother, isn't it? But I think eyeballs outside of the eye look creepy. It's not until you get like the eyelids in front of them that they start to look okay. But ET, actually, that's quite creepy, isn't it? Do you not agree? JC Brick says hi Penny and all in chat. Lord Petewo says hi James. MP, the new box bigger for the cat and the heater they like me. Yes, they do like that heater on, and I'm very much a halogen heater person. I'm a little bit stingy. In the morning I'll put the whole house heating on for a couple of hours, no problems. Once I get to the evening, I'll only heat the room that I'm in. I can't see the point in paying for heating in the living room when I'm in the craft room. So I use halogens. They're only 400 watt heaters. The one exception is I have a heater in the living room, and it's set on a timer plug. So it comes, I can't remember what times they come on, but it comes on 4 or 5 times a day for 1 hour. And I know when it comes on, because when I look at the webcam, they're not on the sofa. They sleep on the sofa, but then when the heater comes on, they jump off and they sit by the fire. And in the evening, you can actually the heater will light the room up, so you can see the difference. So it's quite interesting. JC Brick says, "Hey Peter, did you get my Facebook message from yesterday, buddy?" Hi JC, hey MP. I did, bud. Thank you. Forgot to reply. My head's all over the place. She loved the eyes. I think eyes are creepy. An eyeball is creepy. But actually in the eye socket, it looks okay. but it's just, yeah, it's just one of those things that creeps me out. I think I'm quite funny in that I can watch an ultra scary horror movie. I'm absolutely fine. Um, I can watch the goriest film, whatever, slashing them up, Freddy Krueger's and Chainsaw Massacres, no problems. Something like Children's Hospital, I'm like, oh, oh, oh. I once watched an episode where this surgeon was operating on this child's eye, cutting into the eye with a scalpel, and I'm like, oh, and I was so much on edge. Yet I've watched so many horror films, blood and guts and everything. Saw movies where he's scooping through those syringes, no problems. But yeah, children's. I think it's because I know horror movies aren't real. I always know in my head, yeah, it's a fictional film. Whereas in the hospital, they're cutting his eye open with a scalpel. I know that's really happening. It's the only thing. But eyes, yeah, eyes are a bit creepy, aren't they? JC Bricks. Ah, that's okay, bud. You should hopefully have your flying hours and JC. Oh, we do JC stickers, do you? I love a good sticker. Hint, hint. Lord Pete says, Sweet James, I would rather go to the dentist than the optician. Now, I'm the other way round. I say I find the only thing I don't like about the opticians is when they look in your eye and you can see all the veins in your eye because they shine this light through and then it goes all orange with these black lines. It looks like the surface of Mars or something. Love Minnie says, Penny, remember ice? No, see, you're fine. You have your eye. I don't want them. I actually, when I was younger and my mum was around, she's got cataracts, and I actually offered to pay for her to have laser eye surgery, and she went, no, I'm not having laser eye surgery, and I just didn't argue with her because I wouldn't want to do it myself. Can you imagine? No, not for me. Thank you very much. But yeah, my eyes. See, I think maybe that's why I look after my eyes. I look after my eyes better than I look after the rest of my body because I don't know. Oh, that sounds.
Oh, he's back.
Hello.
Saying sorry.
Bro has to. You guys are just trying to freak me out now, aren't you?
Yeah, we've got to do something.
No. So right. Anyway, how you doodling?
I'm doodling all right.
Good. I'm actually liking mine now. It's dry. Some might say I've overdone it. Some might say I've underdone it. But
I ain't that far yet.
no, but you see, I've got some rather dark areas.
Yeah.
But all I need to do is just pop the turret on and just make sure it works with. Because that's your next trick. Have a look at that. That works. That fits on there, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. But say some people look at that and go, that's over weathered. But other people look at it and go, it's under weathered. I watched a really good build video on YouTube. I don't know how old the video was, but it was Tammy, a Sky Raider. And he really severely weathered it. It actually looked like he'd left it outside in the back garden for 6 months and then brought it in, and it had all this dirt and stuff on it. And my first thought, my knee-jerk reaction was, no, he's well overdone that. And then I sort of looked at it a bit more and I'm like, no, actually he's done that really skillfully. When you consider that the Sky Raider was taken off from an aircraft carrier, he's really understood how the dirt would build up. And this particular aircraft was a Vietnam War aircraft. So, yeah, they haven't got time to clean aircraft, have they? They're in the middle of a war zone.
Okay.
And I was reading somewhere else, because Little History was saying about the toilet on the. Do you know that story?
Yeah, I think so.
So, basically, the reason they had the toilet was they didn't have enough weaponry to complete all, you know, they had to do all these missions, and they didn't have enough weapons. They were firing more bombs and rockets and things than they actually had, or you know. So they were going out with like half of the ordnance, and it was like they were just chucking anything they could at them, which is where the toilet came around.
Yeah.
Because if they didn't, if they used like a complete full ordnance round, they'd have used up all their bombs and missiles and things in half the time, and then they wouldn't be flying out on missions. And then, you know, commanders would be going, "Oh, you're not fulfilling the mission quota. We want you to do so many missions." So that's why they were going out with half loads. And so obviously, you know, you're not going to sit there and, you know, tell you what, guys, we're not going to bomb the North Vietnamese today. Instead, we're going to clean all the aircraft. It's not going to happen, is it?
That won't happen.
No. So when you start to think about that and how much this guy's weathered his aircraft, I'm thinking, yeah. And it doesn't look like he's painted it. It looks like it's got like, it looks like it's rained dirt on it.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Is there, you know, some people do go over the top with the weathering, but yeah, it's. I suppose the only person who could tell you accurately is the person in charge of keeping it clean on that actual aircraft at the period of time that you are trying to build it. And I've seen that before, where there's been forum posts and they've gone, "Oh, that's unrealistic. That's not how they would have done it." And then the next post is made by someone who was actually there at the time. "Well, I am an American Air Force technician, and I did it, and I can assure you that is 100% accurate." And it's like, shut you up, doesn't it?
Yeah, always does.
But then saying that, I don't think there's anything wrong with people building things as it would have rolled out in the factory.
No, true.
See, I have a little argument that World War II aircraft in particular, especially RAF aircraft and German aircraft, you don't want to over-weather them because they didn't complete that many missions. There were so many aircraft being shot down. Most of them are probably fresh out of the factory, getting shot down on their first mission.
Probably.
That's my argument anyway.
True.
So, you know, maybe what I'm saying there is under weather rather than over weather.
Oh, I've probably gone way too much on here, but you know, I don't care.
Do you think? Well, just dab it a bit with the cotton bud. But don't forget that once it dries, the only issue I've got, you know, if you can see there,
I'm just going to say it's really
come out
old.
a little bit blotchy. And I'm not totally happy with that. It looks like I've dripped paint on it rather than dirt. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get some more, and I'm just going to put a daub of paint just to thin it down a little bit further. A little bit of paint, a little bit of the wash, just wash it, thin it down even further, and then I'll just go over that a bit more. And a little bit of a roll, and there you go, that's blended that a bit more. It means I've got to make that a little bit dirtier, but it means I've blended it okay. So maybe I should have rubbed it a bit more rather than dabbed it. Okay, right, so while you're finishing that, I'm just going to kind of fairly skip over it because I'm going to have to tell you again another time when we do it, but I'm going to do a little bit of what we call dry brushing. Okay, so what we need is a lighter color that is on the spectrum of the color you're dealing with. Right. So what I mean by that, you could go white, but I think white is a bit stark. Now, with yellow's a good color because it kind of goes with most colors, but greens goes into yellow, reds goes into yellow, but with red maybe I'd highlight it with an orange. But I'm going to use yellow on this, and I'm going to use this one purely because it just happens to be sitting on my desk. This is Mig Ammo zinc chromide yellow. Now, my favourite dry brush are makeup brushes. They are absolutely fantastic. Now, you don't need to learn all of this in the first time I explain it,
Right.
because it is a little bit, a lot to learn. But the way we dry brush is we get some paint. See, I like that because it's a bit of a slightly drab yellow. Do you know what drab means?
No.
Drab basically means adding grey or black to it.
Oh, okay.
So it just drabs it down a bit. Right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a little touch of yellow, and then with a kitchen roll, I'm going to try and wipe as much of that paint off as I can. All right, so we are left with paint on the brushes, and the best way to know when you've got that just right is just to sort of brush the back of your hand. I don't know if you can see that, but it's just a very light touch of yellow on there.
Yeah.
Okay, but not much. And what we're going to do is we're going to, let me find a bit that's dry. So we're just going to lightly brush our brush over the top. And what that's going to do is going to just catch that top. So it's just going to just pick up the very top raised details. And we can just keep building that up until we get the result we want. And then, can you see that middle one against the one either side?
Yep.
So it's just picked up that detail even more. And it's just, so all of that dark wash that we've done, that's all gone into the recesses. But this dry brush has all picked up the upper surfaces. You see how that detail has just popped a little bit more. I'm trying to bring it right close. Yeah?
Yep.
And that's all dry brushing is. And the reason I like using a makeup brush is because it seems to hold the paint a lot more. Okay. Now I wouldn't do the yellow on the metallic. So look, paint on the brush, wipe as much off as I can on the kitchen roll. Anything lint free really, don't use toilet paper because it will feel. Now that I think is too much. You can't really see it too well, but I can see that yellow on my thumb there. So I'm just going to rub it a bit more. And it is quite literally you can add, but you can't take away. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find like there. You see how that detail's just been picked up very subtly? So you want to go across the detail. So this is square. So I'm going to have to go that way, and I'm going to have to go that way. So can you see that little hatch has now been picked up?
Yeah.
So any raised area, I think this hatch we're going to have to go in towards the middle. And it's going to add more tonal variation to it. You see that hatch has now come out a different colour from the rest of it. So you've now caught a little bit of light on the corner. Be careful on that bit because that's an easy bit to knock off. This is the problem with dry brushing, because you're going in quite aggressively. If there's any little bits, you could knock them off. Now, I would then catch the corners as well.
I need that dude next to you.
Oh, what, the R2-D2?
Yeah, I'm going to run off of him. I'm sure he's just saying hello to me.
Do you think that's what he said? I want to go with Natasha.
Yeah.
There we go. So I've just done a little bit around the edge just to define the shape of it. Now, I forgot to tell you this with the shading. With
Mm.
that turret, what I would do with the turret is I would give a little bit of wash underneath, just a little. Don't go all the way, maybe more towards the middle, and then a little touch of a dry brush on the top, and that should help you give the impression that that's rounded. Okay, so
Mhm.
see as I turn it round,
Yeah.
yeah, and then obviously you can't do this because you haven't got any light colors, but hopefully this is kind of giving you a bit of an appetite for it. And then once we get you some light colors, get you some models that have got light colors, you'll be able to do this yourself. And yes, I am aware that we've not done the metallic bits on the top of the tank. That's a bit heavy, very heavy. That is very, you can definitely see that on the camera, can't you?
Mhm.
It's way too heavy. So basically the way you want to do it is so that you can just lightly see it on my hand, but not really see it on the camera.
Right.
See that that's a bit heavy.
Mhm.
But where it's square, go in two directions. But let the edges just go, just catch those edges. It just helps just to define and gives it a sense of shape. But don't go too hard because you will start knocking bits off. So you see these little, they now start. All of a sudden you find, oh, didn't notice that detail. That's because it's been highlighted. You can, you can spend ages doing this, or you can just quickly flick over it, and any dry brushing will make a bit of a difference. Probably wouldn't do this with your Jet Provost because it's a gloss. It's a little bit of an awkward one with glosses because glosses kind of try to make their own highlights.
Mm.
You see, I'm planning on doing these Gundams, and I'm like, do I do the highlights on them when I'm probably going to gloss them? There we go. And we do a little bit on the flat surfaces. Again, it's just going to add a little bit of color variation. This whole lot has come out quite shiny for some reason. I'm not happy with it. I would like to do a matte varnish over it, but let's do the other tank track that there we go. Right. So you can tell which one I've done and which one I haven't. It's very subtle, isn't it?
Mhm.
But it's just enough just to pick it up. So in a later episode, once we get you some light colors, I'll get you to do that. And then hopefully you'll go, oh my God, that's amazing. How are you feeling about the weathering, about the wash?
It's done, but one end darker than the other, so I thought, sod it,
Right.
it
Do
could
you
be
think
different.
there's an improvement?
Yeah.
Right, good. That's all that counts then. I mean, it is a case of we're just kind of making do with what we've got here. If you had like thousands of pounds worth of equipment sitting in your room, then I would be, well, we'd both be using the correct equipment, the best. Right. So I'm happy with mine. Are you happy with yours?
Yeah.
So we can put the turret on now, which I know you've done loads of times anyway. Right, Peter is saying goodbye. I've got to go now all early. Start in the morning with the new front door getting installed. Sounds very posh. I've got loads to do tomorrow as well. Well, I've got loads to do in the last couple of days. Oh, sorry. Do you mind if I just take a quick mini break, guys?
Nope.
I got given a clothes dryer. and I've washed some of my shirts and I put them in the dryer. We'll see how good it is. I'll be back in a second.
Okay. Yeah. He's done.
Wow. So normally when I wash my shirts, I just stick them on a hanger and I let them hang dry, and then in the morning they're usually dry.
Yeah.
So I got given this. It's nothing unusual, nothing no one's ever seen before. It's like a big coat rack kind of thing. But it's got a heater on the bottom, and you hang your clothes up in it. You put this cover over the top, and then you set the timer for however long you want, and it just sends heat up into this bag where your clothes are, and it dries your clothes. And I don't suppose it's efficient as a tumble dryer, but it doesn't seem to be as damaging because tumble dryers do damage your clothes, don't they?
Yeah.
You get all that lint. But also, where the hell am I going to put a tumble dryer? So I got this. They gave it to me. A friend of mine gave it to me because they got themselves a tumble dryer. And I washed some of my work shirts today, hung them up. I only put it on for half an hour. I've just gone to have a look. They are practically dry after half an hour. Now, all right, these shirts, they dry quite. They've got that material that doesn't take that long to dry. But yeah, it's like they're practically dry. Now, normally I can only do one load of washing a day because it takes that long to dry my clothes. Now I could probably get 2 or 3 loads done.
Nice.
We have got blah, 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 where are we? MP Plastics. I'm going to rest and relax a little, reading a book. Always a pleasure to see your stream with Natasha. Take care, good night, and a good week. All the best. Thank you for popping in. It really is appreciated. I am going to take another quick break because I am now bursting for a wee for some reason. So I will be back shortly.
Okay.
I've got to leave you chatting. And
me, I don't chat much. Yeah.
You come running when I'm in the toilet.
Because they got to watch what you're doing. That's why. It's a good job I don't have 11 budgies watching me go toilet. I don't even have one. Although one is slowly coming onto my shoulder. And she can't fly.
He's a good girl. You kept out of the bathroom. Oh. Yeah, so now with that clothes dry, I want to do loads and loads of washing now.
True.
Yeah. Right, so you're happy with the results?
Yep.
I'm not 100% sure about my tracks. I think they're still a little bit shiny. What do you guys think?
Mine can be still a little bit shiny. Now they've dried down.
I'm not 100% sure. I think maybe in hindsight, I mean, obviously this is a gift set, so they've got to do a colour that covers most of it. Maybe this is not the best colour for it. It is, I mean, that is the colour they've given us. The colour's not wrong, but I don't think it's the best choice. Right, I'm going to suggest that we leave it there tonight.
Right.
Because the next step obviously is going to be decals. I don't think I can really do the decals with you in like half an hour. Now, are you okay to stream tomorrow? Because that's when we've penciled in the next stream. We were originally going to be doing this stream on Friday, and tonight was going to be my channel update, but I can't wait 2 or 3 days with all these parts. It was like Christmas in my craft room when I got home. So Natasha very kindly agreed to switch the streams around, but it does now mean that we're doing another Penny Teaches Newbie tomorrow. Are you okay with that, Natasha?
Yeah, I've got nothing to do by having the carers in, as you know.
Yeah, normal thing. Right.
Yeah.
I might also, I've got a new gizmo coming.
Oh, yeah.
Now, normally you do decals of one or two ways. One is you cut the decal out and you drown it in a big pool of water, and the decal swimming in the water going, please help me, I think I've fallen off the Titanic. Or as I prefer to do it, I have this little decal tray. I think this comes from Revel. I don't know, it's one of the brands. And it just, you have a little bit of water in there, and this tray, you dunk it when you want to wet it. And then when you want to bring the decal out, you just lift that up and it lifts out of the water. But let me see if I can find it, and then I'll do a screen share with you. It looks intriguing. It looks like it can work, because when I started doing nails, one thing I discovered is that you don't need to drown your decal. You just need to wet the paper.
Yeah, that's what I did with my plane.
Yeah,
I just wet the paper, I didn't drown it.
There we go. So this is, oh, it might not be with, it says expected delivery Tuesday the 30th. Oh, it could be with us Tuesday. Oh yeah, Tuesday the 30th. So I like the look of this. So this is what I've just bought on eBay. It's a water decal sticker box hobby handcraft. So this part here, it's sponge. And then this little box next to it, that's where you put your cotton buds. Let's see if I've got it actually in action. Well, that's it in action. So you see that you put the decal on the piece of sponge, which is wet.
Yeah.
And then he's got his cotton buds in the box next to it. And I like the look of that. It is £10.70. They've advertised it there as for Gundams, but and then he's got aircraft decals, and yet they're advertising it as for Gundam model tools. But I thought that's got to be worthy of a look, isn't it? So I'll do a product review on that. See if there's what else did I order that's. Oh, so I ordered this. I don't know if it's a very good set. So Nigel's modelling bench has started to do some part works. And one of the things that he's moaning about, I'm using the word moaning, I don't mean it like moaning. Now, when we get plastic screws, they're self-tapping, but the metal ones are as well. And what he does is he actually taps a thread into the, whereas we put the screw straight in and it cuts the thread. And he says that's not the proper way to do it. And he'll actually screw a thread into it, so that you've got, and it'll eliminate the need for oils and things like that. That's why we put oil on the screws, is to help us cut that thread. So he got these, but he got a really good set. His were about 40 quid. I tried to look for them and they were like 40 quid. And I'm like, sod that, I'm not going to spend 40 quid on something I don't know if it's going to be any good. I found these and I've looked carefully at them. It looks like they are clearly labelled. But these will cut threads from between 0.7 and 2 millimeters. So I thought, look, for £10.49, they're worth trying. They might not work out, but if you total everything that I bought that didn't work out, I spent hundreds of pounds. There's my, hang on, share screen, window, entire screen. Look at my beautiful resolution now that I've got the right. Look at that quality. Because I don't know what was happening, but my my monitors were going. I've got my monitors set to like 1920 resolution, and they were dropping down to like 860, and so I pulled all the HDMI cables out, and I plugged them in via DisplayPort straight into the graphics card, and they are beautiful. I mean, you should see I mean, it is a high resolution picture, but the picture I've got on my middle monitor is amazing. What's going on? Okay, right. Window, entire screen. Check out that picture. That's my second monitor. It is absolutely amazing.
Clearer.
I'm really happy I've got nice monitors again. The only thing is now I've got 21-inch monitors, and now that I've got a bigger desk, the monitors are a little bit smaller. They're not so easy to see because they're further away. So what I'm going to do, I've got a 32-inch television, the HDMI port in it. I know the quality won't be superb, but I want to test it for size. And if the size is good, I'm probably going to buy a 32-inch monitor. And they're not that expensive. I found one on Amazon for 180 quid, which I thought was quite reasonable. Right, so do you honestly believe that your model looks better now than at the beginning of the stream?
Front's done a bit more on it.
Do you like it?
Yeah.
Honestly?
I think the wheels need doing, the tracks again. I think it's still a bit bright.
You agree with me there? I mean, it's an army thing, isn't it? And to have, you don't want to be bouncing through the jungle with these big tracks that go, hello, here I am.
Exactly. I don't like them that bright.
What you could do one thing that you could be, obviously not now because you're right at the beginning of your modeling bit, but you could perhaps be looking at getting some mud effects and then adding the mud on them. It's not something that I'm experienced with. Can I make a confession, guys?
Of what? This
is the first tank I've ever built.
It's a tank?
It's the first tank I've ever built. Ever. I was talking to someone on one of the live streams and I said, because obviously, like, I'm starting to look at different things because, if I say I don't like, to be honest with you, tanks don't do anything for me. I can't get interested. They all look fairly similar to me. It's two sets of tracks with a body and a big gun on the front. That's what a tank is to me. And then they talk about the Leopard tanks being good and the T-34s being good and the Tigers are great. And I don't know, why are they good? And if you try to explain to me why they're good, I probably won't get it. And they don't do anything for me. But if I take the attitude, I'm not going to do that tank because I don't like tanks. And yet I'm quoting to you, it's all about enjoying the build. How do I know I won't like tanks unless I've done them? I've enjoyed doing this so far, and now I'm perhaps thinking about doing a 1:35 scale tank because that's kind of the industry standard. It's like 1:35 scale is like doing a 1:72 scale aircraft. I think maybe a 1:48. I don't know. It's big enough that you can get more detail. So maybe I can enjoy the build, but not necessarily enjoy the subject matter. Does that make sense? So yeah, that's my first tank. But yeah, this guy had said to me, I was saying, like, I fancy having a go at a tank to see what they're like. And he gave me a list of a few tanks. And we watched that video, didn't we, from Man's Model Moments.
Yeah.
on what to do for first builds. Builds for under 15 quid, was it?
Yeah,
And
something
there
like
was
that.
nice little aircraft there. So sorry, I'm trying to drink because I've got hiccups, and all of a sudden my throat went, nope, nothing will pass. And I'm like, when you take a mouthful of drink in your mouth, your throat just goes, no, no, we're shut for the night. Thank you very much. Right. So have you had fun tonight?
Yeah.
How much of that do you think you'd remember if you did a show all by yourself tomorrow?
None of it.
None of it.
No, I
It's
wouldn't
fine.
even know the nicknames to nothing, telling you.
It's
It
fine.
would go out of my brain.
Right. So we've covered washers. So what do you know about washers?
What were they supposed to be for?
So we seriously thinned the paint down.
That's it,
And
yeah.
do you know why we thinned the paint down?
No,
Okay,
it's to do with acrylic, in it? It's thicker.
it's to do with if you have a high point, paint will stick to it. If you
Oh, right, yeah.
seriously thin it, it will run down. What we're
Yeah.
trying to do is we're going to try and colour in the low points. We're going to try and make it pool in the recesses. Then as the water evaporates off, it leaves dirt. If you have like in your living room, right? If you didn't do your housework for months and months, most of the dirt is going to be in. It's Teresa. I'm not having a go that she doesn't know. I'm trying to recap to see how much she's retained, because obviously you're not going to remember everything first go.
No.
When you don't clean your living room, the dirt settles in certain places, doesn't it? Mainly in the corners, on the edges where the wall meets the floor, there'll be dirt accumulation there. You won't get so much in the middle of the floor because as you're walking backwards and forwards, you're spreading any dust and dirt. You're actually, as you walk, you're pushing it more towards the walls. And that's what we're trying to recreate with the tank. All that dirt will go more into the recesses. There's still going to be dirt accumulation on the big flat areas. And what we've also done is we've kind of changed the tones of the colours. So it's not all one flat colour.
Right, okay.
And then because I'm lucky enough to own a lighter colour, a yellow, I was then able to do a dry brush and pick out the highlights. So you've got the low lights, which is darkening, and then you've got the highlights, which is lightening. And then you've got your three tones of colour, which then adds a lot more depth to all the detail. Hi, Phil. Yeah, you are a bit late, I'm afraid. But it's been a good night. So to recap, what we've done, we painted our tanks last week.
Yep.
So you can't really see a good view there. And what we've done today, we've made a rudimentary wash. We don't have oil paint, so we've had to use acrylic. So what we've done is we've just slapped a heavily diluted black over, and that's just helped us to pick out some of the low lights. And then what I've done, unfortunately Natasha can't because she doesn't. This is her very first. Well, for this it's her first kit, so she's only got these paints. Whereas obviously I'm lucky enough to own a lot more paints. So using a yellow, I've just done a little dry brush just to try and pick out a few more details. So now hopefully Natasha is starting to think about future purchases. So maybe you're thinking about maybe picking up some makeup brushes to do your dry brushing with. Maybe you'll be starting to look for a kit that perhaps has a yellow in it. And
I've got a kit with a yellow in it. I'm sure I have.
There you go.
Oh, the yellow plane.
What, the yellow jack one?
Yeah, I've got a yellow plane here.
But right now I'm pretending that doesn't exist.
Right, okay.
You bought
I just
this
noticed it.
tank I'm trying to sort of evolve your hobby tools.
Yes.
Because you might get that yellow jack and then you'll go, oh, actually, it'd look better if I painted the seat green. But you haven't got green because it didn't include it. But you've got this green from this model. But you might look at that green and go, it's a little bit light. Well, that's okay because you've got a black as well. So you can mix a little bit of black in with the green. This is what I'm hopefully going to be building to over time. So you can use the tools that you've got. You can do things the best way. You can do things the way that they will work. Or you can just, this what we've done today is purely optional. It'd still end up with a good kit if you didn't give it a little wash with the acrylic. So now it gives you a choice. Next time you build a kit, you might think, yeah, I think if I had another go at that, I'd be better. Or you can just go, no, I didn't really like to wash it. Didn't enjoy that element. Okay, don't do it. It's just because these top modelers with 58 awards tell you have to do that. No, you don't. You do it to a standard that you are happy with. Phil says he built the same kit a couple of months ago, mostly using the kit paint and a few other bits. I'm going to be honest with you, Phil. For the benefit of helping Natasha, I'm trying to use just what's in the box, and there's more enjoyable ways to do it. It's enough in the box to complete the kit, but I think I can get better results. Like if I was allowed to use my airbrush, I'd slap that paint in the airbrush and. But it doesn't. If I'm using an airbrush and I'm telling you to paint the whole thing with a number 2 paintbrush, it's not really benefiting you at all. So, but you've got some brushes now, haven't you?
Yeah, plenty of.
Yeah. Have you got different sizes?
I got that one.
Okay. So grab some of your brushes and Spirit, you stop eating my roll, please.
And I've got this size.
Right.
Whatever that size is.
About halfway up on the handle, you'll see a number. Oh, why is there a thumbs up just happened like on top of you?
Because I'm great thumbs up me.
Just to the left of you, there was a white thumbs up just come up.
Much like yeah, because this is what iPhones do now. You just get a random.
Oh, just
random. I've seen it all the time now.
So that
must be something we're saying nicely for a change.
No.
No, it don't tell me on these blue ones.
Okay, so if you grab, right, okay, that's fine then. So if you grab a couple of brushes that look a bit more like that, so your Humbrol brush, it says Humbrol, it's got a number 2 on it as well. Hello. Are you in an affectionate mood now? Right, so that's a number 2. Now if you got a number 1, that'll be a little bit thinner. And if you got a number 3, it'll be a little bit fatter.
I don't know what number that is.
Let me grab a couple of my brushes that I haven't been using for the project. So this one is a 3/0. Do you remember what I said about the O's?
No.
So the smaller the number,
the
smaller the brush. So it goes 2, 1, then it goes down to 0. Now the brush that's smaller than a 0 is a 00. Right, and then what's smaller than an 00 is an 000, but more often than not, an 000 they will call that 30. Okay. And then 00000 would be a 50. So this one is called a 30. Let me change my camera view. So basically, the more zeros it's got in it, the smaller it is. So this one is a 0. This one is a 30. So you can see it's smaller. Now the Humbrol brush is a 2. So it is bigger than the 0. I don't think it's by much. Because There is no industry. This is a Kolinsky Sable Zero. So this is, you can see that it's smaller than the 2. And it's got different bristles. This one is a, this is a 5.0. See, that's very small. But that's a different kind of brush because this is more for oil paints. So that's not a sable. I had a brush here. Spirit. Oh, it's in my hand. That's another two. I've got 2 Humbrol size 2s. And then I've got a Rosemary & Co size 0. See, can you see how it's bigger than the 5.0?
Yeah.
Now, the problem I find with these brushes, and this kind of wrecks it a little bit, there is no industry standard on what the sizes are. So you may find you'll buy a size 2, well, you've got a size 2 Humbrol brush. Now you might go out and buy a size 1 with another company, thinking, oh, that'll be the smaller brush I need, because I need a brush smaller than a 2. So you'll go out and buy a size 1 from another company, and it could, in theory, be bigger than the size 2 Humbrol, because there's no industry standard on what a 2 is. But if you buy a size 2 Humbrol and then you buy a size 1 Humbrol, I can guarantee that the size 1 Humbrol will be smaller than size 2 Humbrol.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Which is why I do try to use the same manufacturer. But you'll try brushes over time and then you'll find a favourite brush. And everyone says the Winsor & Newton series something or another are really good. And they're like 15 quid a brush. And I like my Rosemary & Co. Kolinsky Sables at £5 a brush.
Yeah.
But if you find yourself with money to burn, you can go out and spend £100 on the brush if you want. If you are convinced that that makes you a better painter.
I'll just paint with whatever I'm happy with, cheap or not.
I like when people say this. Phil says, full disclosure, I did use an airbrush on mine, but I am a painter and decorator by trade, so I'm always happy to only use brushes. You stupid cat! She's putting her foot in this. She's either drinking it or putting her foot in it. And she puts her foot in it and then it gets wet, so she shakes her foot. And now there's splashes of water all over my desk because my cat is stupid. Look. Wet paw. Look. You are stupid. You know that, don't you? But now she's purring. And you
she still purrs after you calling her that.
Oh, she is stupid. But don't change because I love you the way you are. She's just a dafty. But I tell you what, her scar from having been spayed is cleared up, has grown back really nice.
Yeah, well, it just takes a little bit of time.
You can, when you look for it, you can see where the fur is thinner, but you have to look for it now. But I said that once the season changes and she does a full molt, you won't even notice it. Oh. Mm. 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 You love being on camera, don't you? You're always trying to get on camera. And Teresa says she only wants to help me. That's the trouble. She's not being bad. That's why I can't dislike her for it. But she's exploring. I mean, if you saw something that looked like pea soup, wouldn't you want to investigate?
Yeah, probably.
But what's interesting is I've got dirty paint water there, and over there I've got my dinner plate with my chicken bones on it and bits of chicken. She's not bothered by that.
No, she just wants your dirty water.
Big old eye. looking at you. E.T.'s eye is looking at you. Yeah, so yeah, you're happy. Oh, let me show you this, because I did, I've got two of these tanks. I brought the one from the hotel back with me, because I thought that would. But the one I've been working on today is actually the one that we were working on from home. But look at the colour difference. Oh, change the camera. That camera is useless for having a look. Right, you're gonna pop a load of. So yeah, that's the difference between the two. It's
Wow.
the same. Both tanks had the same base coat color,
Yeah.
and this you can catch so much more detail on this. The only reason you can see the detail on this is because you can see it on there, and then you know it's there. But look at it. Look at the front. I'm really liking that. But that wash has made it a bit shiny, I think. So, you know, matte varnish over the top just to bring it down. I think that'll do it a treat. But yeah, I think, and yours is fine. Yours is lovely. Obviously, you haven't got the dry brushing, but you'll get, once you get some lighter paint, you'll be able to give that a go, and you will cock it up numerous times, because we all have. And that's
Away.
great. The more times you cock it up, the more you'll learn. Phil's model is it Phil's model making? Looks like I'm not the only one with a feline modeling buddy. Yeah, it's funny because when you're trying to get on with some modeling and they just sit there and they want some fuss, it's a pain. But then sometimes I'll get on with modeling and they're not hassling me, and I'm like, where are the cats? I miss them. And obviously, the first thing I do when I come in the door is they're all over me and I'm all over them. And it's like, I've not seen you in 3 weeks. So, yeah, I love having my cats. And at the end of the day, they love me. Someone actually loves me, even if
Yep, and it's your two
it's the
cats.
animal. And it's got to be a lot better than having two cats that are hiding up from me all the time. Although I'm pretty sure when she's older, she'll just get on with her own thing.
More than likely.
Do you know what? Half the reason I got a black cat, why I got Spirit, is because people don't want black cats, and that's. Do you know what? I wouldn't change that. I see videos of orange cats and how they're completely loopy and got a screw loose, but actually, I think I made the right choice with a black cat, and she is a fine specimen of a cat. But we'll find out on Wednesday, won't we? But the
Yeah.
vets love you, don't they? They love Shadow. Well, I think they love all animals. I got a good vet. They're definitely animal lovers. But then why would you get a good vet if you didn't have animals?
Excuse me.
You've got a good vet, haven't you?
Yes, I
Obviously,
have.
I would
And they absolutely love Gandalf.
do
I'm like,
the
what about all my other birdies? But apparently Gandalf and Luna are their favourites. And I'm just
what are
like,
you
I
into
can't have
now?
favouritism.
No, they're metal screws. You can't eat them. No, no, she's trying to eat my paintbrush. That's what it is. Wait, no, no, screws. He's eating metal screws now.
Weird.
I know. You're gonna have to be banned from now. He's investigating the lightning. Oh, what's she looking? No, that's glue. You can't lick Tamiya extra thin.
God.
She's licking the bottle of glue. You stupid cat. You see why I shut the craft room door now when I go out? Because this cat is just full of surprises. I'm pulling her back and she's actually pulling against me. She wants to lick the top. That's what she's licking.
A very strange cat you've got, Penny.
She's She's an invest. Stop it. Was that you rattling bottles?
No, I was rattling. Got my cups too
Oh,
close.
okay. Then I heard it. Right, you're going down on the floor.
I got more than one way of having a coffee.
I can't understand. She's trying to lick a bloody blue bottle. So,
I don't get that one myself.
No, look, she's back for more.
It's bad enough sniffing it, but
You
licking it.
from if you don't behave. Shoot that. Give it 3, 2, 1. Shoot that. She knows I can see her on that side. She comes round this side. Look, right, any second now. Any second now. There she is.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah. She thinks she comes round the other side. I can't see her. Just behave like Shadow. Why cannot you be like Shadow?
Because no two cats are the same.
Oh, when he got shut in the cupboard the other last week, and I could see her. She's just wandering around the house, meowing her head off. She really missed him so much. You were so lonely, weren't you?
Did you ever find out why or how?
I don't want to know. I don't want to know. It could have been my cat sitter accidentally shut him in. It could be. Do you know what? I don't want to know. All I want to do is just make sure it doesn't happen again.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, this fidget thingy that I'm using as a palette, it's not so good for. It's very good for acrylic paints because it just wipes out, but it's not very good for the oil paints. But they do take 48 years to dry. They don't take that long, but they do take a long time. Right, so tomorrow we are doing decals. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, and I just can't remember where I just put them. I'll find them by tomorrow night.
There aren't many of them. It's only a little gift set. See, I kept mine nice and neat. There is a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 decals in total. Most of them you will find not a problem. You've got 2 very tiny ones, and you've got 1 small one. Oh, you've got some little white ones. Most of those, the small decals, if you can't do them, I don't really think it's going to matter that much. The easy to do decals are the important ones, the stars and things. Bill, you know what? I thought you were been watching for the last. Apparently, we've now only been live for 26 minutes. What is going on? Well, the timer on the top of my melon is saying we've been live for 26 minutes.
Oh, well, we can do more then, can't we?
No, I don't think that's quite. I'm just going to check my channel.
2 hours 13 to me. Fine.
Yeah, stream. Okay, it's not interrupting the stream. Yeah, so building with the boys. I thought you were watching for the last 2 hours or so, taking it all in. That's why you were quiet. Yeah, so decals. So yeah, you haven't missed much. You just missed a little bit of weathering and a little bit of dry brushing and just basically making the Smith Speed says no, definitely only 26 minutes. You need to carry on. Well, if we get everything done in 10 minutes, that's all the stream we need. So we are back tomorrow with part whatever the part is.
Decals.
Part 5. Is it really part 5?
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought we were on part 5.
We're on part 5 now. Tomorrow's part 6. Cool. We've done quite a few streams, haven't we? So how are you finding the pace of it?
Fine. If it was any quicker, but I'll be out of my head.
Right. Okay, no, that's fine. I mean, obviously, it's a little bit slow for me because I know what I'm doing. But I don't really know what pace to go at. You know, I'll do things now. Obviously, when you've done this 100 times, you'll do it a lot quicker, or maybe you won't. If you don't want to do it quicker, then don't do it quicker. Because another thing I've said in the past is the longer, you know, the more effort you put in, the lot's going to take you longer, but the results are. See, another way we could have done that weathering is quite literally dotting on and placing carefully placed dots exactly where we want them, and the results would be twice as good, because it's the amount of effort you put in. Right now, you're having to put a lot of effort in to get a acceptable result, but as you get better, and you know, you might learn, like what I said about the wash, you put the wash on, it's very, very black, isn't it? And you sort of look at it and you go, oh, I think I've overdone that. And then it dries and it lightens up quite a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah.
So you kind of got to overdo it because it's going to pull back, but you don't know how much to overdo it. So when you do it again, you'll go, yeah, I'll slap that on because I know it's gonna come back. So yeah. So yeah, nice and simple. So tomorrow you will need some kind of plate or saucer, or the lid of a microwave container. Just some kind of shallow dish, but I wouldn't advise using your dinner plates. You will need cotton buds. You will need cocktail sticks if you can. You may need a knife, which you've got. And you will need water.
Fine, I've got water already
in your lid.
in my lid.
You need scissors.
Fine,
Right.
I've got them.
There's a little bit of controversy. I've seen people say, do not cut your decals out with scissors. I tend to use a knife because I'm more like to have a knife on my desk than a pair of scissors. That's why I use a knife. But people say knives are better. You've got a knife because it should be in that kit that I got you.
Over there.
Yeah.
That way somewhere.
So you're going to break open that kit tomorrow then, aren't you?
What kit?
The kit.
I already broke into that.
Good. So have you used everything so far?
Yeah, bar them squidgy things.
Squidgy things.
Yeah, the things you got to squidge.
The things that you've got to squidge.
Yep.
That helps.
With your hand.
Squidge with your hand.
Yep. That's how I call them.
No, it's fine if that's what you want to call them.
The squidgy things.
Squidgy things is kind of, we need to understand what you're saying as well.
I don't know where they are, but they're here somewhere. Look, I had it all tidy in here now, and now I'm going to mess it all up.
Oh, listen, if you've got a tidy desk at the end of the modelling session, you've done something.
All right, I'll tidy it back up.
I'm intrigued. Squidgy things with your hand.
Them.
Oh, side cutters.
Squidgy things.
Squidgy things. Now I understand what you're trying to say. Squidgy
things. You got to squidge it.
You've not used them yet?
No.
So how are you cutting the pieces off the sprue?
Knife.
Okay. And were you more comfortable doing it with a knife?
Yeah, unless it's small parts, I'll get carpet munches them than Hoover does.
Fine. It's I mean, I like my, yeah, I'm probably going to end up calling them that now.
Squidgies.
I like my squidgy things.
Well, you got to squidge it, haven't you?
No, I always cut mine off with side cutters, you see. But if you prefer to use a knife, then...
I haven't tried them. I've been a bit scared of them.
Oh, well, give them a try one day then.
I will.
I'm one... Do you know what? I mean, these are very good. I got these off Amazon. These are Japanese engineered. And they are actually very good. They leave a very minimal screw nub. But there's a brand that's really doing the rounds at the moment called God Hands. And I was tempted to try them, but then I don't think these are broken, so do they need fixing? You know, I think these cost me about 20 quid, which is the most expensive nippers I've ever bought. But God hands are like 50 quid. And I'm like, but apparently half of the reason they're better, these are actually two blades which come together to cut, whereas God hands are one blade and a plate. And apparently that's better for some reason. I don't know why. That's more like a squidgy thing that you've got in your hand.
I don't know what. This is the only thing I have not used, and I don't know what it is.
I don't even know what it is.
It's just weird.
No,
That's the only thing I haven't used.
I've used one of something similar more in diamond painting than I have in model making, because I use that to line the edges up on diamond painting. But more often than not, I use a steel ruler. I stick the steel, because you know where the double-sided tape goes. I stick the ruler down, and I use that as an edge for the edges. But no, I don't know what that's for.
Yep, some yellow thing.
The only thing I can think of is it's a sledge for a large scale man.
Well, there is like a little sledge on the edge.
Yeah,
There,
yeah.
but
It's obviously got something to do with scraping, hasn't it?
yeah, but I don't know what.
No.
And what are them lines for? So you can sit in the middle of it
Don't know.
on a sledge.
No. So I don't know. Absolutely no idea.
Nope. Someone will know somewhere.
Yeah, I'm sure someone will know. But one day, you know, see, I don't have one anymore because I'm like, I don't need it. And so I'll get rid of it. And then one day I might sit and go, oh no, I'm stuck. If only I had a square piece of yellow plastic
Like that.
with a taper on the end and parallel lines going through the middle.
You could just see it, couldn't you?
I don't know. But I do like to think I'm quite good at improvising. So, right, guys, that's it for me. I'm dead.
Yep.
I can't believe how much I've slept the last couple of days.
Well, I won't get much sleep tonight, not after what I've had going on here.
Yeah. Did you speak to the relevant person?
Yeah, she said it's even on my notes. So she got taken another picture and taken it to her boss.
Well, your notes need changing then.
So.
Because who wrote your notes?
The boss.
And so what? A carer? Or qualified?
Probably a carer at one point, yeah.
Right. And who wrote the label on the box?
Doctors.
A doctor. So whose authority is greater, a doctor or a boss of a care company?
Doctor.
Right.
But my carer is the one that's not the boss.
Yeah.
So my carer tonight is going to take it to the boss.
Well, listen, I don't know what procedures this company follows, but
whatever's on this machine. But
yeah. But if when I was a carer, if I had a discrepancy between the paperwork and the label that the chemist has printed, I would be querying and I would be probably pushing to have. And I'm very, very careful with medications. A good example is I had a lady who was paracetamol PRN, which means as required. Do not have more than 2 tablets within 4 hours, and she'll be like in pain after 3 hours, and I'll be like, I can't give them to you for another hour.
Yeah.
And it'll be like 3 hours and 59 minutes. No, you're not having them. 4 hours. Now you can have them. Because what if there was a problem and I end up being caught and they say, what time did you give that dose? And then what time did they give that dose? Well, that was 3 hours and 59 minutes later. 3 hours and 59 minutes is less than 4 hours. You know, it sounds like I'm being a job's worth, but, you know,
No, but it doesn't mean to leave a patient in pain till tomorrow now.
exactly. I mean, if there's nothing you can do about it, if you're on your maximum dosage of painkillers,
I'm not. I haven't been on maximum all
no,
day.
you're not even on a third. Well, you're on about a third, aren't you? But I mean, obviously, if you're on the maximum dosage for a painkiller and you're in pain, then as a carer, there's nothing you can do. And I think even you know that, don't you?
Yeah, but they don't give it. They don't stop just giving it you when you're on it, when it says clearly on the box what I'm to
But
take.
isn't it? What they've got on your paperwork and what's written on the box is two completely different things.
Yeah, that's what the boss said to me earlier. She goes, I never get this wrong. I said, you haven't got it wrong. It's like to her, this afternoon, I had the same carer back. I didn't get no afternoon medication, so I'm stumped till
Yeah,
tomorrow now.
yeah.
So it's like, do I want you back? No.
Who do you
So
have to say that?
I'm going to be in trouble till tomorrow evening, I think.
Are you?
Yeah, with pain.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, it's like if the person you're caring for is querying what you are doing, you discuss it. If you still can't agree, then the carer should be ringing their boss.
She did. And then she said, well, we can't overdose you if it's the wrong dose. And I went, it's not the wrong dose. She's given me the wrong dose.
Yeah.
And it's hard, so hard telling her that. So as soon as I got tonight's one, I was like, oh, thank God for this. She knows what I'm taking.
You find that some carers have an attitude of you know
This
nothing.
is what the attitude is with this one. Every time I have it, I just can't talk to her because this is what she does every single time I have her.
Right.
So I wait to always a different carer. They know what literally I'm taking. They don't even look on their system because they know everything's there.
Right.
And the one tonight said, you've not had any meds this afternoon. I went, no. I go, one of
Are
the
you able,
medications, I only had one tablet
are
of. And
you
she
able
went,
to
which one's that?
to it? No, because you can't. But you know how.
Can't read.
Right.
So
So,
otherwise I'd administer it myself. But what I was
can we do
doing is, because
your
I
colour
couldn't
thing?
read, I was taking every box all the time.
Can we do
Thinking,
your colour thing?
I've tried asking them now, they can't do that. All they can do is make the bloody labels bigger. But
No, no,
I
no, not the
tried my overlay on it. I
not the
can't read
chemist.
it.
But like, for example, you like certain colours on certain backgrounds, don't you?
Yeah.
Would you, for example, take a picture of the? Have you got a printer?
Nope.
See, maybe like for example, I could copy the label out on a word processor, adjust the background, save it as a PDF, send it to you. You print it off on a printer. You can cut it out and stick it on the box, and now you can read it. Because it's not that you can't read because you're illiterate. It's you can't read because of dyslexia, isn't it? And I
Yeah.
know that when labels for your diamonds, yeah, you could. I mean, that seems odd to me, but having because you can now read it because it's on a pink background. But
Pink on white.
yeah, sorry, I don't know
But
if we called it, but Anfield Road layout and love says hi. Um,
I
you should be able to get the pharmacy to. Now I've had this argument before.
tried.
Yeah, I had a lady who had hundreds of meds, hundreds and hundreds. It used to take me 10 minutes a day sorting her tablets out for each day. And I went to the chemist. Now, I suggest it might be different from county to county, but where I was, they said she won't get blister pack because she has a carer. Their job is to make the patient's life easier. They're not there for the benefit of the carer.
Yep.
Yeah, and this particular chemist won't even deliver her prescriptions because she's got a carer. It's the carer.
Oh, well, they'll let me deliver mine.
Yeah.
But then I just leave them downstairs if it's a big box or
Yeah.
something like that.
If you
I'll
were
let the carers bring it up.
on your own, and you can't understand your tablets because you can't read because of dyslexia, then they would do blister packs. But because you've got a carer, is that the reason you can't get blister packs?
No, I tried with my Let's Be Friendly, and she's tried for me, and they will not do them anymore.
Right.
So I will not even get
So
a chance to get on
can
them.
you get your? I mean, how often you may, if you don't mind discussing? Remember, you're live on YouTube, so if you don't want to discuss it, you're more than welcome to. How often do you have someone come in?
3 times a day.
So can you get the person in the morning to? Because you can get like the pill boxes, can't you? Can you get the person in the morning to make your pill box up for the afternoon?
Tried that. They're not allowed to do that.
Right.
So it's all entirely making sure I take them. Because
Right.
they could put it all in and I not take them.
Right. So
You got to
the only thing
literally
is,
watch you take your meds.
right.
Because I'm one of these that say piss off meds and chuck them in the bin.
So basically, I mean, I don't understand why they aren't following. Right, this is going to come across the wrong way, right? So if the doctor's made a mistake and he says have 15 of these tablets 5 times a day, that is what I would give you.
Exactly. This carer won't.
If it turns out that the doctor has overdosed you, it's not the carer's fault. The carers have followed the instructions. Now, if it says give them 15 tablets and I only give you 10, and then you end up in A&E for whatever reason, and they find out I've only given you 10, and my answer is, well, I think that's a bit much. The first thing they're going to say is, what's your qualification?
To have 3 tablets 3 times a day of this medication. I went, well, that's what I'm prescribed.
Yeah.
And she didn't even give me a chance to go on my doctor's app to show her.
Yeah.
She just wanted to blow it all off.
You showed me the label. It clearly says 3 tablets 3 times a day, not 3 tablets a day. It says 3. So because I said to you, didn't I? I said that's 9 tablets a day.
Yep. And I got 1.
Yeah. This is what I was getting at. Could you ask a nice carer to put them up for you in a pill planner? But you just said you're not allowed.
They've all just said no. Not allowed to do that.
I think that's it. Personally, I think that's malpractice from the case of the carer. The carer has failed to follow the instruction.
And put it this way, the carer tonight is not very happy over it.
Yeah.
Because that means it's delayed me back in pain and she can see it.
This is the problem I had as a carer. When you're following a carer that's useless or hasn't done their job properly, you've now got to work twice as hard because you've got to rectify their mistake. Then you've got to do your own job. And it's difficult.
And now I've had half of my meds this morning, none this afternoon, come this evening. I'm just all over the place now with pain.
Yeah, and look how it's affected.
So it's just got me.
Yeah.
As the day went on, I knew it would. But what can I do? Wait till a nice carer comes.
You're struggling with pain management, which is so you're struggling with pain management, which is one of the worst things. It's going to get to you all day, isn't it?
Yeah, it gradually got me, slowly but surely. But being on the lives is taking my mind off it.
I wish I was lived around the corner. I'd come in and I'd sort it for you. It's not the fact that you've got carers. I'd just be straight round there and I'd be like, there you go. And I think Teresa would be the same, wouldn't you, Teresa?
It's just I can't believe it. Yet I've had this care before, and she happily done it all. Today, whoa, I don't know. I had it this morning, lunchtime. I had no medication at lunchtime.
Well, hopefully this person will get a bit of a brief before she visits, if she does come again. But do you actually have the right to say I don't want that carer?
Yeah, I do get a right to say not. It's like one carer's not allowed to come in no more.
Right. I mean, I
Which can't go
personally,
into.
I would be saying like I wish to provide feedback about this carer. I think complaining might be, well, I don't know. Teresa Mike Smithby says I wish you both lived in Birmingham.
What, so I can skip slap you all the time? That will make me happy.
Yeah. But yeah, Teresa, I would be the same, to be honest. Yeah. I would just be, if I lived just around, if I weren't like 4 or 5 hours away from you, I would be straight round and I'll say, right, there you go. I've read that. Because I used to get that all the time anyway. Daughters of people would come round and give them. Because sometimes it's a problem because they'd self medicate with over the counter medications and there's nothing you can do to stop them.
No.
A lot of them interfere with prescription medications. So someone might be on eight prescribed paracetamols a day, and then they'll pop over and they might have a bit of flu or something. So they'll buy a Lemsip,
Yeah.
realise
Yeah.
it's got paracetamol in. Now they're overdosing. So me as a carer doesn't have the option, doesn't have the authority to alter their medication. I now
Yeah.
have to make loads of phone calls, say, look, they're being prescribed this paracetamol. Now they've told me they've taken a Lemsip. What do I do? But as a carer, all you are doing is covering your ass. If in that case I give them their paracetamol and I say, look, they've taken a Lemsip, and they say carry on giving them paracetamol as per their prescription, and then I do that, and then they're in hospital overdosing on paracetamol, I'm not to blame because I've
No.
been told by someone higher than me. Um, I certainly don't have the authority to skip medications. She could be in serious trouble for that.
Yeah, well, I told the one tonight, I said she gave me one tablet because she thinks I'm overdosing on it.
Did
Even
you
though she
actually tell
read
you
the box,
you're overdosing?
apparently I'm overdosing on it.
Yeah, a non-qualified carer does not have the right to tell you how much medication. When a doctor prescribes that, he has a big book called a BNF, and it tells he looks in that, and he needs to see what medication. This is why if they you go in, say for example, I've got back pain, and they'll go right, okay, they have in mind what they want to give you. They'll ask what seems like a daft question: are you on any other medications?
Mm.
Yeah, I take this for something completely unrelated. Right? They need to know that because they need to know, and this book will tell them what it is, what the maximum dosage is, what the normal dosage is, and what it interferes with. And sometimes they'll take you off medications to put you onto something else.
Mm.
That's usually because they interfere. But you certainly, a carer does not have the right to go, yeah, I don't think she should be taking this much.
Yeah, and then skipping my afternoon dose made it a bit worse. And
Yeah.
this evening one's just looked at me as if to say, really? And she looked on my notes and said, you are on three times a day.
Yeah.
I went, well, I wasn't lying to her because I know what medication it is because I know the quantity I've got in my hand.
Yeah. Like I said,
Nighttime one is mental to.
yeah, like I said to you before the stream, if you had in your hand your daily medication and it's not right, you may not know how it's wrong, but you know it's
But you know,
yeah.
so that's how I worked out. So I've had really no medication in me all day.
Oh,
And
that old.
tonight's one's not very happy about it, put it that way. She said, I'm going to be set back for a day or two now. I said, yeah, I'm already feeling the bloody pain. She goes, I can see it on your face, but you're hiding it.
If you had the correct dosage tomorrow, will that affect you differently, or will you just be fine?
No, it may affect me differently because of the dosage.
Right.
Because I haven't been level playing with it all the time. So I may look tomorrow like I'm out of my head
Yeah.
a bit more. So, but it
Yeah.
will calm down in a day or two.
Because I know there's a medication that I'm on. It actually stays in your system for 28 days.
Yeah,
So
mine's
when you start the medication, it doesn't really have that much effect. Once you get to day 28, you've actually got 28 doses in you. So if you miss a dose, you're not the same for another 28 days. So if you miss a lot of dosages,
yeah, this medication is one of them ones that don't stay in your system long, and you know about it as soon as it's not the right dosage, basically.
if you run it 3 times a day, not once a day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's how quick that one could come out of my system, and then tomorrow it might just play around with me a little bit, especially if I ain't got her. So
Yeah, it's important to have a steady dosage, and I guess it's important for the carers to come at the same times as well.
yeah, see, that doesn't always happen, but
That's not their fault. They get stuck.
it's not their fault, but that doesn't play around with me too much. What does play around with me where I've only had one dose?
This has always been. This is why I don't do live-in care. This is why I don't do like the travelling carers. I've done it before, and it's just things happen. If you're half an hour late on your first appointment because I don't know they've had a fall or something, so you're half an hour late leaving. You're now half an hour late on every single appointment in the day.
Well, I normally let them catch up, but don't tell their boss that.
Oh yeah, no, I've had people like that. But also sometimes we've had people that will book an hour, a meds, what we call a meds prompt, where you just go around, you give them their meds, and then you're out.
Yeah,
Normally you get 15 minutes for that. Now I've been to places where people have booked an hour and they want that full hour because what they're also paying for is for someone to be sitting there, and that's the only company they get in the day.
yeah, yeah,
Highlight of their day. Now, if you start running late and you go, oh, that's all right, Mrs. Miggins' meds prompt, that'll only take me 5 minutes. I'll leave 3/4 of an hour early.
yeah.
Well, you can't really do that because they've paid for that service, or someone's paid for that service.
It's like me, I pay for mine.
Yeah, you actually pay for it yourself.
I have to actually pay for mine, yeah.
So you want,
I want that time, unless I'm like, it's like yesterday, lunchtime, I think it were. I didn't want anything else bar some food, meds, that was it. And I thought, there's no point her or him staying here an extra 10 minutes doing nothing.
yeah, yeah.
So I'll just say,
Oh, I am.
look, there's nothing else I need you to do. You can go if you wish.
Yeah, that's how I am with Linda. I pay her to be here for takes them about 15 minutes to do the food and the cat litter, and then she spends about half an hour playing with them. Now she's had some problems with her own dogs, and so I've said, look, just come in, feed them, and then go. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. If your dogs are ill, so long as my cats are fed and they've got a clean litter tray, that's enough.
Yeah.
And then sometimes she'll say, well, I wasn't able to play with them, so I gave them extra long playtime the next time. It all balances. But there's two of them and they play together. So, missing the odd playtime isn't going to kill them, is it?
No.
So, right, Phil says, I have to go now, early start tomorrow. Been an interesting listen. Bye all. Thank you for joining us. Teresa says, most days I take my tablets. It feels like I haven't had any, but then if I haven't took a dose, I feel like 10 times worse. Yeah, I think that's the builder resist. Oh, Michelle. Hi, both. Michelle's crafting. That's someone's come from your side of the internet, isn't it?
Michelle. Carl's Michelle.
Of course it is. I'm so sorry.
I'm not doing it on my channel.
No, but it's like people from Facebook that know you and that, isn't there?
Yeah.
We've had a few of them. Oh, I've been looking for that. Sorry. Right. Okay. So it's definitely been an hour now, isn't it? Because it says so at the top.
Don't know. I got 2:44.
I think we just get longer every day, don't we? So
yeah.
I have. What am I? Oh, I'm doing my land cart. I'm looking forward to that. I'm clearing my desk in the morning, and then I'm going to start filming the Lancaster. And I'm doing I think there's about 4,000 sprues. So I'm doing the unboxing. I'm going to be looking closely at all the sprues. I'm going to be seeing what I can identify and what I can't. And I'm not going to sort of make out I know things that I don't know, because I know people will catch me out if you pretend to know stuff. And if I see something on the sprue and I go, that looks nice, look at the detail, but I've got no idea what it is, I'm pretty sure that by the time I get to the end of the build, I'll know what it is. Also, you were on Little History Stream, but I've got some glass bottles coming. We were playing around today. I don't know if you know this, guys. This is Mr. Hobby Tool Cleaner. It is absolutely amazing at cleaning airbrushes, but it's also amazing as a glue.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Now, we were making sprue goo with it, and I think it was MP Plastics. He was going on about the different plastics. Airfix uses a different plastic from, say, Tamiya. And I'm like, yeah, what a good idea. Because of the price of that, these two cost roughly the same price each. But we think this is about 20 mil. Does anyone know the actual quantity in milliliters of a bottle of Tamiya Extra Thin?
No.
This is 400 milliliters. This is, we think it's about 20, let's call it 50 milliliters. So you get 8 times more in here for a rough, I think this is about a $5 and this is about a tenner. So what I'm going to do, instead of, I can't buy one bottle of this for every bit of sprue goo I want to make. So I bought some small bottles. They're only like 10 mils. And I'm going to put a little bit of tool cleaner in each one. And I'm going to put, one is going to be Airfix plastic. And the next one's going to be Tamiya. And the next one's going to be Hobby Boss. And so I'm actually going to make sprue goo specifically for certain brands.
How's the one today got on?
It went very gooey. I have now actually thrown it out. That's why I used glass. Well, the glass that I used was stolen from a travel lodge. Holiday Inn Express. And they are, by coincidence, exactly the same shape and size as the glasses they have in the Holiday Inn Express in London. So theoretically, they may be missing the odd glass in the next 3 weeks. Don't know. You never know. Because these glasses, they grow legs when they walk off. It's like hotel towels, isn't it?
Yes, and dressing gowns.
Yeah. Why is my suitcase really full? Where did those towels come from?
Anything I won't like out of them is all that shampoo stuff and all that they have in.
Yeah,
I don't like that end.
To be honest with you, it was very handy the first night because I'd got to the hotel quite late. I was on an early start the Monday and I hadn't completely unpacked my bag. And I just looked and I went, I need a shower. I can't be bothered. And I just used their shampoo and body wash. And it wasn't as exciting as my own, but at least they provided some. So that's handy. But I do like my my menthol original sauce. And I like my coconut shampoo and I like my Tresemme conditioner. And yes, I like all of those. So, right, guys, I am going to disappear. Don't know about you, Natasha.
I'll be disappearing and then I don't know where I'll be after that.
I feel terrible for you today.
Why?
Because of what's been going on today. I'm sure.
One of them, isn't it? I just wish she would have listened.
Well, I'm just annoyed that she's decided to play doctor. And I don't think that's right. And she can she can end up in a court of law over that.
I'm sorry, but it's not overdosing me.
But it's not
what I'm on.
Why does she think doctors they spend 7 years in school before they're actually then decide to actually study some more.
Yeah.
And a carer's course, if she works for a reputable care company, they would have given them a week's training course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why do they think a week's training course is supersedes 7 years in school? And even to get into the 7 years of school,
Yeah, it's hard.
you've got, yeah, just to get in, and then you start. And building with the boys says, hang on, I've lost my cursor. The roughest sandpaper known to man is Holiday Inn towels.
Never been. Don't want to
He's
go
not.
then.
He's not wrong. Oh, do you know what? I do like. I do like that Holiday Inn Express though. It's so much. Well, the Travel Lodge was Travel Lodge. It's what it is. But yeah, that experience I had, I'm like, I have a saying that if anything makes me cry, it's time to walk away.
Yeah.
And she did upset me. And but I got a message from the person who books the rooms. He says, "How you getting?" I says, "Absolutely lovely." It's the small touches. I will never forget the when I come in at one. I finished work. I come in at 1 in the morning. It was absolutely freezing. I got off the bus. I walked 5 minutes from the bus stop to the hotel. My hands had gone completely numb. That's how cold it was. I have a kettle and milk and coffee and stuff in my room. But the night guy, he said to me, "Oh, do you want me to make you a cup of coffee to take up to your room with you?" And I just thought that was such a lovely little touch.
Yeah.
He didn't have to do that. And then there was one time I got up really early. Oh no, it was when I got really late, and he'd started cooking the croissants. And he says, "Oh, do you want a croissant straight out of the oven?" Because he cooks them, because he's got so many to cook, that he cooks them early. So by the time breakfast comes, they're still fresh, but they're cold. He actually gave me, um, sorry, hang on. I stayed in a travel lodge. They were very happy to tell me it was made entirely out of shipping containers. I said, "Yeah, I can easily believe that." Yeah. I don't have an issue with travel lodge. Travel lodge is what it is. I mean, the one that I stayed in, they don't have any rest area. They don't have any cooking facilities. Um, they don't have a bar or anything. They've got another one that's got a bar. Um, obviously, but we didn't have a contract with them. But I say this one's nice. I mean, I left them a review, and they left a really nice response back to. See, that's another thing, right? You leave them a review, they push. I mean, the manager at the travel lodge, she goes, "Oh, we do try and look after the bus drivers, and all we ask in return is a review." And that's fair enough, but you got to earn that review.
Yeah.
And as I said to the people at the Holiday Inn, I said the basis that I work on is when I check in, you're already on 5 out of 5 or 10 out of 10. As events happen during my stay, one event happens, you've now knocked it down to a 9. Another event happens, you're on an 8. So you've already got your 10 when I walk in the door. It's your job to make sure it's a 10 when I walk out. And I don't think the manager at Travelodge wasn't happy with me, but I left her a 2 star. Now, the way I see it is that was quite generous, because I do think 1 star means it couldn't possibly be any worse. And to be fair, it could have been worse. But during my stays, I've left them 3 reviews, 2 5 stars and a 2 star. If you average that out, that's an average rating of 4. And her target is 3.8. So my average is higher than what. So building with boys, it was in Manchester by the Trafford Centre. I just hate travelling for work. So Not in the best mood when I arrive at these places, so it probably affects my stay. Yeah, that's the problem I have. Sometimes they book me. Why they book me 11:35 departure from Glasgow to London, and then I'll get into Euston, and then I've then got to get from Euston to Canning Town, which is about an hour. Sometimes I might not get to the hotel before about 8 or 9 o'clock. Now, if I'm a 4 a.m. start the next day, that's not fair. Why can't they book me on a 7:30 in the morning train from Glasgow? I can then get in 3-4 hours early. I can then get into the hotel 5-6 o'clock, have a little bite to eat. I then don't need to go straight to bed after I've eaten, and then I can get up in the morning and go to work, or make sure I'm on a late on the Monday. That would be nice. So Michelle says, just been looking at Smith's beads. Nice, thanks, Tasha.
You're welcome.
Their customs. I'll show you my customs one day. I got a couple of nice ones, haven't I?
Yeah, and one still to do.
Yes, I will get on with that. Do you know what? I might be a selfish pig, and I'll do that on the train on the way to London next time. Sorry, guys, I'm taking up the whole table. I've got me dog.
It's not what I will do, no.
You three will have to share the corner of the table, or go and get another seat.
Take up all 4 seats, sod it.
Yeah, that'd be a good one actually. If I sat there, do you mind if I just do a bit of hobby on the way? Oh no, you go ahead. Out comes the custom. Said I could. Line all my Tic Tac containers up with all my drills on them along the top, and then have all my trays down the side and my 60x60 custom. Oh, do you mind just holding that corner up for me? I don't want it to... Yeah. I nearly on the train home. Here you go, pen 1 discount code.
I've already given them the other one.
What, Chris's?
No, 10 new.
Oh, 10 new, yeah, that works as well.
It was off stream when we spoke.
I think I've ended up with about 50 different discount codes, haven't I?
Oh, I just use the same ones, me. Sod it.
If I can't remember, I'll just write in the customer notes, give me a 10% discount. No, but I mean, look, what I've always said about Smith's beads, they're a little bit more than these Chinese ones. But honestly, what it goes through, was it my second one? No, my first one. It had a little bit of a defect. And Mike was like, oh, there's been a bit of a problem with it. Do you want me to get it replaced? And I said, oh, send us a picture. And he sent me a picture of it. There was a little bit of a scuff on the outside. I said, no, it's fine. And then the second one that I checked, I bought 2, didn't I? And he had them all nicely rolled up, and I unrolled them and I had a look, and they were absolutely spot on. Absolutely chuffed to bits for that. Oh, you little bugger. You had to do it, didn't you? Have you come up to drink paint water again? Or have you come, I can't believe that, drinking paint water and licking Tamiya extra thin glue balls. No! No, that don't work, does it? No, I've just ended up with a claw in the eye. That'll teach me when it... Can you let go? Thank you. Actually, are you much of a shoulder cat? Shadow used to be. Shadow used to love standing on my shoulder. No, she don't want to know. No, she just wants to drink paint water. Because you're a weirdo, aren't you? Yeah, she's definitely in a naughty mood. If I touch the back of her neck and she's in a cuddly mood, her head will come up. But she's not. So you're in a naughty mood, aren't you? And if you wouldn't mind turning around, because you do have a bit of a smelly bum. Why do they poke the bum in your face with the tail up in the air?
I don't know, but means they're happy apparently because my sisters two
Yeah,
do it.
yes. Oh, Shadow, you've been a bit naughty. I think he's telling her off or something.
Oh,
That's why she's come to see me, isn't it? Shadow's after her. Yeah, she's rubbing against my leg now. Oh, I love you. What she means is, oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. She's trying to get out of the room and Shadow's not letting her.
poor.
Spirit's bum can't be any worse than Ivy's. In all fairness, no, it's not. They are all right.
One day I might come on the stream, yeah, and I'll have a budgie sitting on my shoulder.
Oh, that'll be good, and we'll see how my cats react. They'll both be sitting there watching the screen.
I got one that can't fly, but she'll happily sit on the shoulder.
Oh, that's nice, isn't it?
My little Bonnie. Well, she's not so little.
Yeah.
She's big Bonnie.
Well, Bonnie means happy, doesn't it?
I call them all it, and I'm like, oh God, I forgot I got Bonnie here. And it's like, hello, I'm not ignoring you, Bonnie. I know. And she does this little squeak as soon as I call another budgie Bonnie. So I'm like, I go up to Bonnie. I go, see, I'm not ignoring you. I call all of you the same.
Yeah. Are you still treating them all the same? You haven't got.
Yes.
It's hard
Yeah.
sometimes, isn't it? When one of them does something lovely.
They've all got their own personalities and they're quirky.
Yeah.
In
See,
different ways.
I'm lucky because he's number one boy and she's number one girl.
God knows what I've got now. I don't know which new girls and which new boys. I can't count. I'll just go, you're all my favourite birds.
Yeah.
I can't remember how many boys and how many girls.
If one cat's in one room and one's in with me, I'll go, you're my favourite, but don't tell him. And then I'll say, Shadow, you're my favourite, but don't tell her.
I bet they whisper to each other saying that though. So that's why they fight.
They do.
So they could be fighting.
They must have some way of communicating.
Yeah, I think they do.
There's little things that Spirit does that Shadow's taught her. And so therefore they must have some kind of communication system.
Yeah.
More intricate than yes, no, stop, I don't like you, I'm not happy, I'm happy.
Yeah.
More complicated than that. And it's like all hours, like a lang, and it's like they synchronize their routines. Now it can't be that in the morning they do this and in the afternoon they do that, because sometimes it's down to the times.
Yeah.
It's like 7:30 in the morning. If I sleep in a bit too much, like I say, they don't actually wake me.
No.
I get a bit restless. This morning I've on the sofa bed, the actual seat cushions, I put those beside me, so I do a bit of a channel. And if I'm up too late in the morning, they'll move and they'll lay on those. So I've got one on each side, like a couple of gargoyles, statues sitting next to me. And that's only if I get up a bit too late in the morning. It was funny this morning because I've been up since 3:00 because I've been doing it. I've got to stop doing it. I go for an afternoon nap.
Yeah.
I tend to sleep for about an hour and I sleep for about 4 hours. And then I end up going to bed about 9-10 o'clock. And then I'm up at 3 in the morning. And then, of course, as soon as I'm up, they want breakfast. So I'm like, no, you can't have breakfast. It's far too early. So they're like, I want breakfast at 3. I'm like, I want to give you breakfast at 7. So we meet in the middle and I give them breakfast at 3:15.
But isn't that giving in too early?
Some would say that, yes. And then at 7 o'clock, they're ready for breakfast. because it's 7 o'clock.
Wow.
And I tried to tell them, no, you've had breakfast. So, odd thing happened today.
Did it?
So, because I'm on holiday, what I do is I order their food. We're now figured out exactly how much food they have. One bag of food lasts them 3 days short of 1 month. Because I started a bag on Christmas Day, and we started the next bag on the 18th of January. So I order every 3 months. So I order 10 bags of cat litter. We're trying a new tactic out. I used to empty both litters every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's good litter. It does last 2 or 3 weeks. But we empty it every 2 weeks. It works out one bag. Once V moves out on Thursday, can't wait. Yay! I sent him a snotty message today. He's took
Really?
clothes with him. So I sent him a message. Next time you come round, can you bring all my coat hangers back? He's left me with about 5.
Oh, God.
So he's took about 50 with him. So I'm not happy. I let him have all my hangers because I got no wardrobe because he's taken the room. So I'm folding my clothes up. I've kept a few for the hotel because I don't like the hotel hanger. Have you seen the hotel hangers?
Yeah, I don't like them.
You got a ring in the actual rail, and then you pull, but then you can't hang. Like if I wash my shirt in the bathroom, I can't hang it anywhere. So I
Yeah,
put my own hangers.
it's annoying.
Yeah, but yeah, I forgot what I was saying now. So yeah, so when B moves out, I'm putting a cat litter tray in the bedroom.
Yeah.
So I, I don't want to do 3 litter trays every 2 weeks, but I think the litter will last longer because they're spread out a bit more. So what we're going to do is we are emptying one tray 1 week. The next week we'll empty the next one, and then the next week we'll see how that goes. If it gets a bit smelly, it'll get done more often. So I need to order 10 bags of cat litter. I need 3 bags of cat food.
The
I
list just goes on and on and on, doesn't it,
Well,
really?
you know what? When you order for 10 weeks, it works out about
Cheaper.
it's about £200 for everything. 70 pouches of cat food, 70 licky licks. But it works out about 200 quid, which is a lot of money, but it works out 20 quid a week. They've got top of the range um, cat litter. You know, I could buy that oval grey stuff from Happy Shopper, but I got a much better litter. They've got good. Well, she has. What does she have? Felix Select Menus or something like that. But she eats any old crap anyway. She has the licky lick. She loves the licky licks. You can hide that. What Linda does, I used to give them cat food in one bowl, licky lick in another. She puts the licky lick in the cat food. You can actually
Ah,
hide it. You can hide the licky lick. She'll push the food out, eat the licky lick, then eat the food. Always hits that first. Then they've got the Whiskers kitten food, and that diet food that's not cheap. Although it's
no.
cheaper than kitten food's really expensive.
Yes.
So much more expensive than cat. I can't wait for her. I'm hoping on Wednesday. Well, she do eat. This is why I give her kitten food because she is still a kitten.
Yeah.
Her dry food, she eats adult food because I can't give him kitten food because Shadow will eat it and he loves.
Yeah.
So yeah, cats are a lot better than kittens. I'm sorry. They do funky and funny things when they're kittens, but I think I do prefer adult animals because
Well.
since Spirit has, I mean, Shadow's got his routine in the mornings. It's funny. He goes on patrol every day, about 3 or 4 times a day. He just walks around the house.
Yeah.
and he's on patrol. He's making sure everything's fine. When he hears the outside, we've got like a shared block front door at the bottom. When he hears that come through, he goes running to the door, and he's looking like this. And if they come all the way up to our level, he goes and sits down by the door and he waits. And then he might see if it's my neighbour up on the floor, you'll see him walk past, and he's very disappointed they haven't come to our door. But then if there's a knock at the door and I open the door, he runs away anyway.
True.
So, but Spirit's got her routine now as well, and it's nice in the afternoon. See, I do most of my filming now in the afternoon because the two cats settle down in the cat beds and they sleep. Are you showing us birdies?
Well, I'm going to try.
Good try.
Here's my Bonnie. Little Bonnie.
Birds. If I was a budgie and I settled down to sleep and you come and disturb me, I'd be pecking your eyes out.
There you go, Bonnie. She's beautiful colour.
She is, isn't she? Try
Buzz is at the back there.
Paintwork.
Look at him. Staring at me. I gotta admit who he looks like. He's so alike. Hello, Bonnie. Yeah, you stopped squeaking now, haven't you? There she is.
Oh. I do like the colour.
She's Bonnie, isn't she? Even though that's her name as well, Bonnie. Looks like a bloody pet store in here.
Yeah.
Got them everywhere.
Yeah. Give it another year, I'll probably get 2 more.
There's one that looks exactly like Sunny.
Bless.
But it's not Sunny. I've now named him Pikachu.
Fair enough. Teresa says, birds. Birdie.
Where is she? There's little Elsa. She's blue.
See, I have noticed your little...
Hello, Sunny. You shouting? You want attention?
You lost one bird, didn't you? And you got 2 more. Then you lost...
I lost one bird replaced with... Not replaced, but I got this fat dude.
I thought you got 2.
No, just this boy here.
Then you lost another one, and then you've got 4.
Lost another one, gained 6.
Oh, 6?
Yes.
So you got to 9?
Here. There's Teresa's favourites. She don't have a favourite, but...
So I just hope you don't end up losing another one, because then you'll end up with 15 birds.
Well, you never know with me, do you?
But see, it all starts with 1, doesn't it?
Usually it's really funny. It don't happen often, but when me and Teresa are on video chat, all she gets to see is Minnie's bum. She jumps on top of the phone, and all Teresa can see is her butt.
Yeah. But I can see how I'm going to go when I'm older.
So it's like, here, I see my butt, T.
Yeah. Well, see, I got Spirit for primarily what it is. Shadow is my pet, and Spirit is Shadow's pet. So I want to keep him company while I'm away. Now, as I said to my neighbour Barbara the other day, she goes, "Oh, you're going to have a third?" I went, "No." She went, "But you had a bit of a pause there." I said, "Look," I said, "I'll be honest with you. I often see cats and I'm thinking, I was watching an RSPCA advert today about them rescuing this poor old RSPCA man crying his eyes out. And I'm like, yeah, I'll take the cat in." Because I know I say I'm not having any more cats, but, you know, if there was a poor old cat, mum's died and left 6 kittens in a bush, and that, you know, am I going to just go, no, I'm not having any more kittens?
No, I don't think you will.
Yeah. So
once you've had one, you're a crazy cat lady anyway.
Oh, well, like my friend says, how many cats do you need to be a crazy cat lady?
What?
One. Because if you ain't got any, you're just a crazy lady.
Yeah.
But no, I won't say. I don't want another cat. I don't need another cat. But I'm not going to say I'm never going to have another one.
No.
But I said that after Nymeria, and I wasn't going to get another one after I lost Nymeria. But Shadow was just so lonely. The
I
way,
said that after Hulk. I said that after Simba, and then look what happens.
yeah,
It's,
you're doing a very important service.
yeah, I've taken in 6 for,
If you
rescuing.
weren't happy about those people smoking in front of the budgies, were you? No, most people won't think about that.
See, I smoke in, well, as you know, I don't smoke in with them because their
Oh,
lungs are like
I'm a bit
10
naughty.
times, if not more, smaller than our lungs.
Yeah.
So I just do the humane thing and smoke in here.
Well,
Yeah, I'm not supposed to smoke in my bedroom either. Landlord don't like it, but I'm just like, sod you,
I,
I'll
I
smoke where
will.
the hell I want.
I will confess I do smoke in front of the cats, but once I get that corner sorted out, that's where my balcony is. But I don't want to smoke in my house because I know it's a lot easier to keep clean if you don't smoke in the house. And
Yeah,
also, I smoke more at home because it's easier to smoke. Now, there'll be days when I'm like, I want a cigarette. I'll go out, I'll look at the weather, and I'll go, yeah, sod that, I'm not going out there.
yeah.
And I won't have a cigarette because I can't be bothered to go out in the cold. It's like
Yeah, I'm not going down 3 flights of stairs just to
no,
fall up and we'll fall down them again.
that's one of the appeals of this house for me is because it's on second floor. I ain't walking down 4 flights of stairs to go and have a cigarette.
No, no, me.
So, but I'll use the balcony, and so yeah, it helps me cut back a bit. See, when I'm in the hotel, I was on second floor last time, so I've got to cut. So I'm sitting there and I'm doing some modeling or whatever I'm doing, and I'm like, can I actually be bothered? No, I can't be bothered. So I don't smoke. And I've smoked. Normally, I smoke a pouch of tobacco a week. Um, I'm I'm on. I'm about halfway through my third pouch in 3.5 weeks. So I'm
Yeah.
one pouch down in all the time I'm here. But, so yeah, but for me, it is habit. I don't smoke because I enjoy it. I have my cigarette on the way to work because that's what I always do. And then as soon as I get to work, I get off the bus, I'm having a cigarette because that's what I always do. And then as soon I have a cigarette at terminuses. So that's why I like the longer routes. If I'm like an hour and a half from one terminus to another, I'll have a cigarette every half an hour. If I'm on a little service that's 20 minutes round trip, I'll have a cigarette every 20 minutes.
See, I've tried quitting, but it's because I enjoy it. That's my issue. When
Yeah,
the day I get bored of it, that's when I'll consider it. But my brain's saying, no, I need you and I want you and I enjoy it.
yeah. I stopped enjoying it when I changed my brand to cheaper cigarettes that you've got. Years
Yeah,
ago, I could afford to be picky and pick the brand I wanted, but I can't afford to pick the brand I like best. So
no.
my brand is cheaper cigarettes, you do please. Cheapest king size. Or as we said was funny in Scotland, I go, can I have the cheapest little cigarettes you've got? She went, oh, you mean 20 wee club? I thought, yeah, that sounds better, doesn't it? So next time I go in with my English accent, I go, oh, can I have 20 wee club? It's like, you take the mickey. It's like one of the first things you can do in Scotland, or if you meet a Scottish person,
Just wind them up.
is say to them, okay, the new. They don't like that.
I'm not even going to try pronouncing
No,
that.
no, but you don't want to say that's a Scottish person. So Teresa is thinking of giving up again.
Oh
Um,
no.
I actually
Good
spoke.
luck.
I spoke to my doctor about going on the tablet thingy to give up. I think, especially now we're now talking about it, I think I'm actually in the mood to give up because you can't give up unless you actually want to.
True that, and that's why I won't give up.
Yeah, you've got to want to. If you're only 95% committed to giving up, it's not going to work. And it's, but I mean, I gave up before. I took the Zyban. I don't do Zyban anymore, but they do an equivalent. And it was great because you're still allowed to smoke. You set a
Yeah,
date and you try, but it does something to your brain. And I carried on smoking. And I'm like, two puffs in, I'm like, this is horrible. I can't take it in. It tastes so bad. And so you don't, and then maybe about 4 days later, you'll try again, and no, and then your brain it doesn't want it anymore because it just tastes foul, and then you have like 4 weeks on the tablets, and then you're officially non-smoker 6 weeks after that. And I literally got within 2 days of my 6 weeks. It's funny, but it wasn't funny. I was living in a shared house, and I come home, and it was like somber. Everyone was in the front room, and I went, "Bloody hell, what's going on? A funeral or something?" And he went, "Yeah, we Ryan died. One of my housemates. He died in a car accident on the way back from Cornwall." I went, "Oh my god!" And my mate just handed me a cigarette, and without even thinking, I just took it
yeah,
and smoked it. Because obviously something like that, you still need to consciously say I'm not smoking,
yeah.
and obviously something like that is it hits your thought process.
It makes your thought process goes a bit wild, so you
Yeah,
don't think of it. The
and
first
what
thing you're
I've just
thinking of is your
really
friend, isn't it,
said, it's
really?
the odd person's fault that I'm smoking now, but I didn't mean it like that. Um, but yeah, no, I do want to give up smoking, but I'm not 100% wanting to. Once I hit to 100%, Teresa says once I've got rid of all the stresses around her, so I'll come round and I'll de-stress you, shall I?
Well, the other Sunday, I was only about half hour away from
Yeah.
him, and Mike goes, "You gonna do detour? Come see us?" And I just went, "No."
Well, I might be paying a surprise visit in November because I've got Telford show. So I think I can get my hotel for free because well when you stay at that travel Holiday Inn you get points. Oh, that
Yes,
reminds me, I got to check that because
I'll
they
be right back.
yeah, no problems. You don't actually get your points until you finish your stay, and I've officially checked out today. Oh no, they haven't put any points on. If they don't come on, oh, okay, I'll give them a ring in a couple of days. Oh, V's in for slap. I messaged him earlier on saying, next time you come back, can you bring my clothes hangers back? He says, I have mine. And I went, oh, you've taken mine. Not very happy. I had a feeling that was going to happen actually. Oh, I don't know if Scott's still watching, but I've just got your email. I will reply to it. Sorry, bear with me. Oh, sorry, he's wound me up. He's wearing me out. Not building with the boys. Sorry, I saw two things there at once. No, V's just replied back. He seems to think all the hangers he's taken were his. My wardrobe I left him had loads of hangers in it, and now there's hardly any. So I'm. Is that it? Is that it? I said, when you moved it, right. So I said, next time you come back, can you bring my clothes hangers back? He says, I have mine. I went, you seem to have taken most of my hangers. He says, I check and I let you know after. So, but when you moved in, my wardrobe had loads of hangers. I went to grab a couple and most are gone. And he just replied back with a thumbs up.
I hate that. Or when they do that okay sign, I'm like...
No, but he's like, he seems to think all the hangers that he's taken are his. I bought loads of hangers. I went through a phase. I didn't have nearly enough hangers. So I was going into like Poundland and I was picking up, they do like the kids' hangers. I think you get like 8 for £1 or something, 6 for £1. And they're not great quality, but they're perfectly good enough for T-shirts. And then they do some other better quality ones, but you only get like 4 of them for £1. And they're better for trousers and skirts and things like that. Yeah. And I was going in every week and buying like one set of the cheap hangers and one set of the better ones. And then I did that for about 2 months. And I ended up filling a wardrobe. And I also, when Chloe lived here, I was getting her a load of hangers. And then when V moved back, because I took all my clothes out of the wardrobe and I was going to fold them and put them in what's now my living room, but is a bedroom. There's like shelving units built into the wall, as well as a wardrobe. And I was going to use the, fold my clothes and that, because to be honest with you, most of the stuff I have is work clothes. I always hang my work clothes, and it's most of the stuff I'm not bothered. T-shirt, if I fold a T-shirt, I'm not bothered about it not being on a hanger. But obviously, once I get that bedroom back, I've got the wardrobe back, and that's going to save an awful lot of drawer space. I've got like 3 chests of drawers in there, which I can use for trousers and jumpers and things like that. So yeah, I am a nice. I know it's only little things, but I do. He was the lodger from heaven. He was absolutely perfect the first time he came round, and when he's come the second time, he's like a completely different person. I don't know what's up with him, and it's a lot of little things, and he doesn't. It's like I tell him, like for example, when he was. I found out what was going on with my pans. He's actually cooking with a dessert spoon in a non-stick pan, and he don't seem to think there's anything wrong with it. And then he'll go. It's like when he said the first time I said about all the grease in the kitchen, and he's trying to pass the blame on to me. He goes, "Well, you cook as well." I said, "Not like that." And then like the next week, something we were saying about, and he was going, "But you never cook." And I went, "Hang on a minute. Last week you were saying I was cooking and it's my fault the kitchen's full of grease. Now you're saying I don't cook." And his washing up is worse than it was before. And I'm still upset that over Christmas, I mean, right, so if you share a house with someone and, you go to do your washing up and then they have, say, a plate and a cup, you don't mind just washing their plate and cup up, do you? Because you're running a bowl of water anyway.
Yeah.
But then what will happen is one day if I leave a cup, I'd like him to wash it every now and again. But it's like I'll go to London and I might leave like I got a microwave container and I put it by the sink. And I thought, oh, that'll be all right. It's only one thing. I'll come back 3 weeks later. It's still sitting there.
Yeah.
And then over the 3 weeks I was at home over Christmas, he didn't do a single thing. I washed absolutely everything of his up. And like that pizza tray. See, one of the things that winds me up, my little thing is when I do the grill pan, I always put a bit of tinfoil on the bottom because it catches all the bits of crud and you don't clean the bottom of the grill pan.
Yeah, I do that.
Yeah, he takes it out and then cooks. And then I come along and I put a bit in and then he'll take it out when he cooks. And I'm like, what are you doing? And then I've got a lovely new pizza tray. Only used it once. He's been putting his pizzas on and all the cheese has been coming off and it's all, I've got bits of carbon on it and he puts it away and I look at it and I think that's dirty and I can't be bothered to wash it because I didn't mess it up. So I chuck it in the washing up pile and he like puts it in the oven. So when I see it, because I'm thinking, oh, I'll have a pizza. And I'm like, I can't have a pizza now because in order to have a pizza, I've got to wash his things up. So I put it back. So you know what he did the second time I took it out of the oven? He puts it back in the oven, but upside down.
God.
So I'm like, oh, you're going to start cooking with it upside down now, are you? And I'm like, I don't know what's going through his mind. He was the perfect lodger before. And now he's just completely changed.
Yeah.
Know what's up with him. So, and then of course you've got the this is funny. He goes when he announced he's moving out, I said to him, I go, you're not coming back. And he laughed at me and I went, I'm being serious. I said, once you're gone, that's it. Anyway, he was talking to, so apparently he wanted to move his girlfriend in. The reason she won't come is because of the 2 webcams that I use for keeping an eye on the cats. She's not comfortable with them, so she won't move in. And of course, I'm like, hello, is anyone going to tell me that she's moving in? It's my house. Is anyone going to ask me? You know, that would be nice. Penny, do you mind if my girlfriend moves? I would have said no, but it would have been nice to have been asked. And so that's why he's moving out, because she won't move in here. And I'm like, really? You expect me to have someone else in as well? 2 people that won't look after me cats? Trap them in the cupboards, shut them in the craft room, kick them? No. So, but yeah, so that's why he's moving out. But then he was talking to my cat sitter the other day, and she says, because apparently his girlfriend's worried that because she goes to London every so often, and she's worried that he might see other women because he does. I think when he was there before, he had about 6 women on the go.
Wow.
I know. He was saying to me like, "Do you think I should cut some of them back?" And I'm like, "Yeah, 5 at least." So, I mean, I understand he's a bit young and he's a little bit playing the field a bit, and he might settle down a bit when he's older, or he might not. But I said, have you ever thought about these women? And because he went ballistic at me once, I didn't know this. He was on the phone and it sounded like he was talking to a girlfriend. And I said, was that nice girl that come round yesterday? And he's like this, what? And he goes, after the call, he went, no, that was a different girl. I said, well, you need to tell me these things, don't you? I said, you know, you tell me that, you know, I said, it might have been your mother for all I knew. So, yeah, so he's, but yeah, so he said to, he was talking to Linda. Linda's like, that ain't going to last. She says, I don't think it's going to last. And he goes, if it doesn't last, I'll just have to move back. And I'm like, oh, really? Is that what you're thinking? Because guess what? It ain't going to happen. I mean, I'm earning enough. I mean, when I did say to him when he was here before, and when he first moved in, I did need the money. That's why I had a lodger. And then while he was here, I got onto Flixbus and I was earning more money. And I said to him, I said, now I'm earning good money. I said, I'm not going to kick you out. But once you move out, I'm not going to get another lodger because I don't need the money. And since Flixbus, I'm now earning even more money than I was when I was at Flixbus. So I definitely don't need a lodger. But he was having a bit of trouble. And I said, you were a good lodger before. And that's why I let him move back. But I said, you're not having your old room back because it took me that long to sort his room out, sort that room out. And I had all smooth sofas moved in. I moved the bed. His bed became my bed in my room. I said, I'm not moving the rooms. You can have the little room. And then and that's why I got the sofa bed. So, 11 pennies says, I fell asleep, got groceries off porch, put bacon in the oven, put cold stuff, and you're still on talking about smoking and no hangers. Yeah, you know me. We talk about all the important things in life, like hangers and things like that. Right, listen, I am definitely going to go now because
yeah, I'll probably end up on the bed because I'm really not feeling well.
No, that's fine. Yeah, that, you know, I said that cat food the cat stuff. They split I mean, if you do an order, they'll split the order into 2 deliveries. Obviously, if it's too heavy. But this time they've gone really strange. They split the order in 2. One box is going to be delivered by Every, and the other box is going to be delivered by Yodel. That's really weird. So, right. So we are on again tomorrow night. You still all right with that?
Yep, I'll be fine.
Listen, what I'll say is, Natasha, if you don't feel up to it, we'll cancel the stream.
I'll let you know as the day goes by, but if
Yeah.
I do, I should be fine. I just might be going, what was
Yeah.
that again?
There is a slim possibility that the stream just won't happen. If we're not going to stream, and you know, if I'm able to, I'll cancel the stream. But obviously, with things like Facebook, it doesn't always cancel. But yeah, so there is a slim possibility there may be no stream tomorrow. We'll see how Natasha is. Obviously, because of the series that I'm doing, I can't do it without Natasha.
No, you're bad.
But don't feel guilty if you don't feel that you can.
Yeah.
I have absolutely no problems if we can't stream tomorrow. So I'll say that we might be should we say should be streaming tomorrow.
Should be streaming.
And we'll be streaming on Thursday. Friday I go back. Oh, I've got a channel up. No, I don't have a channel update to do. My channel update's coming February. That's fine. So in the meantime, well, the only thing to tell you about is tomorrow's live stream.
Yep. Might catch me here and there on someone else's if I'm up to it, but if I'm not, I'll be in the background.
I think you're getting a bit addicted to the old live streaming, aren't you?
Yeah, sod it. If there's a link in, I'm jumping.
Yeah.
I'm raiding it, sod it.
Thing is, it gets you more exposure, it gets you more practice.
And every Sunday now, Sunday morning, I'm invited to Michelle's streaming. She gets me and asks me if I want to go in hers, and then I've kind of stuck to the Sunday 11 o'clock with her. I've got a seat spare apparently, as Carl puts it, her husband.
Just bear with me one sec. Scott, I am about to reply to your email I have done a very quick reply. I've just sent my mobile phone number. If you want to chit chat, you are more than welcome to. Obviously, you know I'll be free. But what I'm going to do is I'll sit and reply to your email after the stream. But if you want to call me, you can. Obviously, I know you have a busy household, whereas I'm free and single, and the only thing I'm disturbing is my cat. So if you can't or won't, I totally understand. But anyway, Scott says Yodel's preferred delivery method is still medieval catapult. Do you know what? I have something I saw on Facebook during COVID. There is a joke, but the more you think about it, the more it makes sense. And it's like, why aren't the COVID injections being done? Why can't you get them on Amazon Prime? And you'll have them done the next day. But no, can you imagine, right? Because obviously during the lockdown, we were all ordering stuff off Amazon.
Yeah.
Your parcel, stick your arm out, you're vaccinated now. We'd have the whole country done in a week, wouldn't we?
But unless they've run out of it.
I just think it's, you know how you have stuff that's really stupid, but when you actually sit and think about it, it's actually an awful idea. Yeah. Vaccinations by Amazon Prime. No, is it? They said if Amazon did vaccinations, the whole country would be vaccinated within a month. Prime members would be done within a week.
Yeah. Well, I'm Prime. Just the thing is, can I be bothered stabbing myself?
Yeah, but it's like, that'd be great. Like,
but then again, I used to always say, when they used to say shot scratch, I used to go, yeah, I always had a prick once ago.
I've said that before.
I say it to every single nurse I go to. Sorry, I'm just going to prick you. And I'm like, yeah, I used to have one of them at home.
Yeah.
I just can't help it no more.
Yeah.
No. And they just all look at me or laugh.
You know, it's that's another subject, isn't it?
Gotta have a laugh in this pain.
Right. Okay, guys. So I don't know how many million days we've been streaming.
Only 42 minutes apparently.
I always aim
for 3 minutes 42.
2 hours, but I think 1 to 2 days is a little bit of a closer estimate, isn't it?
Yeah, because I think we've been alive a lot the last couple of days.
Well, you have.
Oh, I know I have. I'm raiding everybody.
Lost time, but
I'm making up for it now, aren't I?
You just got an addiction to it, haven't you? Oh,
You
watch as soon as the stream finishes. She'll be searching YouTube for live build. Which one?
I do.
Well, that looks like live build, but I don't know them, so you probably won't let me. Oh, like that one. That's all right. We'll give that. That's what you'll be like.
Well, it's like Dragon Lover Connie. She invited us all, so I thought, sod it, I'm coming on then before Penny's.
She's too nice, isn't she? She's too nice.
I jumped on with her.
Yeah, I feel awful because she invited me on. I went on, cooked my dinner, ate my dinner, and then went, bye, I'm off now.
Oh, that's all right. I was there a couple of hours. I've been streaming since 11 o'clock this morning.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, if it helps you, because, obviously, if you're in pain, I know taking your mind off things doesn't eliminate the pain, but it does help. Right, listen, it's nearly midnight. It's, only 4 hours. That's not so bad, is it? So my little timer at the top, it does now say 1 hour, 57 minutes. Is it all right to go now, Mike?
Well, it says 3 hours, 44 to me. Why is it saying different to you?
I don't know, because my computer makes things up as it goes along. Right, so quick recap. What we've done today, it's a little bit optional and a little bit advanced. Yeah. We weren't able to do an oil wash because you don't have oils and white spirit. So what we've done is we've done a very rudimentary wash using a watered down acrylic. What that's enabled us to do is add color variation. So it doesn't look all one solid color. It does actually look used. So it's not going to be as good as an oil wash, but it still produced a good result. I have dry brushed mine. I'm going to be teaching her dry brushing at some point in the future. But this is all she owns paint-wise at the moment. Who's she? The cat's mother. But yeah, are you happy with your result?
Yeah,
Can you
best as I can be.
Can you
Front's a bit dark wherever it is on camera, but
no, just
I
fine.
can't really notice it now. It's
I
driving.
like it. I do like it. It's looking
It's
at
a
that.
bit darker.
You've got some details been picked up. If I can be a bit critical, maybe a little bit more on the turret because it's a little bit light in the main body.
Yeah, I did make some stripes on mine up there, but I hadn't. I did the edge,
Yeah,
but I forgot about the top most
no,
of
but
it.
it's really good. So now your model now looks different from mine.
Yeah,
Yeah,
can you tell
because
I put lines in the bloody thing?
what's that? That's
Put
fine.
lines on the front of that.
Wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. So, can you honestly say that your tank looks better now than before the stream started?
I liked it before, but I
Yeah.
like it. Can't say I hated it before. It's just
No.
them tracks I'm not liking.
No, yeah, I think they're a little bit bright. I think because we're restricted with the colours.
Can I just do them black next time?
Well, if you want, because we haven't stuck them on, what we could perhaps try in the next stream after we've done the decals, maybe we could, that'll be a new skill for you. If we get a little bit of the metallic paint, the gunmetal, and just dab in a little bit of black just to darken it.
Could work, couldn't it?
You still
I'm just
got,
not liking them, even though we've done
still
what
got
we've
your
done with
spruce
mine.
trees, haven't you?
It's still too bright.
You still got your sprues, haven't you?
Yeah, they're on the floor.
Right.
They fell out of the box.
What we'll do on the next stream after we've done the decals, we'll mix up a little bit of gunmetal and mix it with the black. We'll paint a couple of sprues and then we'll try another bit with a bit more black in or a little bit less black, and we'll see what you like.
Yeah, I'm just not liking that bright colour on it.
No, it's fine. Just as long as you're not liking it because I said so, and you don't like it because you don't like it. I just
don't like it being so
I've never
bright.
seen a tank with tracks that bright.
Oh, see, mine are not even dulled with that black on it.
No, mine's dull, but not that much. Yeah, I'm glad we're in agreement. Right, so that's what we'll do tomorrow then. Decals and repainting the track. Now, this is really good because most people, for their very first model, they would do exactly as the instructions say. You're actually now thinking about your model. You're thinking about elements that you're not, I won't say unhappy, but not as happy. And we're doing something about it. That's proper modeling to me. I'm not happy. I'm going to do something about it. Rather than being a llama.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. So, you're going to have to close the show one day because it's going to be on your stream. But I'll let you get away with it.
I always close your show, Penny. Then you go after me, so you close it.
No, you do not. You always go, I always close your show and I go, all right, well, I'll close it then. And you do that every episode. So I end up.
Well, I've got to get out of it somehow.
No, I'll let you get away with it today. But when we start streaming to your channel as well, you're going to be closing some shows.
Okie dokie, I'll do my best.
So say goodbye.
Thank you, Penny, for tonight and teaching me how you do this. I don't know what you call it again. Whitewash? Something like that, is it?
Yes, you've learned a word. Wash.
Yeah, wash.
Wash. No, well done.
So, and I appreciate you teaching me how to do these things. And I will see you on the next one, hopefully tomorrow.
So thank you very much, guys, for watching. Just as importantly as having great viewers. Thank you, Natasha. I've really enjoyed this. I really am enjoying this. So yeah, you've been I've had people saying to me I'm a great teacher. Actually, I've got a really good student.
I can make it worse then, can I?
Well, you could do, but you are top of the class at the moment, don't you?
I don't know. Yeah. Well, there's no one else here doing it, was there?
That's why you're top of the class.
Oh, can't we rope someone in so I'm not lonely?
No, but honestly, you make teaching an absolute pleasure. It's been really good fun. And it's also been good for me because sometimes taking things back to basics actually helps your own advancement. So it's been absolutely brilliant, and you are making really good progress.
Doing well.
So, guys, we are hoping to return tomorrow and again on Thursday. That's all. I'm still rebuilding my channel for the new year. It's just not happened as I wanted it to. So, this week we've got live stream tomorrow. Warhammer's not quite ready to return. Eddie Stobart's running on the Wednesday. We've got the gauntlet. I've just filmed some new gauntlets, so that's definitely going to be running on Thursdays. And Friday, I'm really excited. Friday, the Lancaster series starts. It's only a boring introduction. No, it's not really boring, but I discussed the project. Word of warning, though, this Lancaster project is becoming quite dynamic. And I found that I did the introduction, and by the time I finished filming the introduction and publishing it, some of the things are changing, so it's kind of been a bit dynamic. But it's episode -1 because that's the introduction, and then next week is going to be episode 0, issue 0, which is going to be the unboxing, and then I actually start work on it, what I'm calling episode 1, on the 16th of February, which should put me about 5 issues behind the Hachette, which I think is probably a perfect place to be, or not. So yes, guys, so that's it for me, and I will see you on another episode. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And I've got hiccups now.